Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another TF Live TV production. We are going to be watching some ozfortress Season 28 Intermediate this time. We're going to be finishing up the season with the Grand Final tonight. I am Michael, and I'm joined by DuMmTm on the mic with me. How are you going today?
Pretty good, pretty good. Warm, sunny day outside, so Germany's trying its best to be a little bit like Australia, and what better conditions than that to watch an Australian game here.
Yeah, definitely. And we've, like I said before, we've got the Grand Final coming up. The two teams against each other that we're going to be watching tonight is Superheroes versus What's Our Name. And I think we've got some pretty keen players here, so we'll get into the rosters. I will run us through the Superheroes roster right now. We've got Deadstar and Sky on the Scouts. Dip will be playing Roma, Aston on Pocket, Jack, who spelled his name backwards, on Demo Man, and Munch on Medic.
Yeah, for What's Our Name, it's Susu and Bill on Scout, Scandal and Raylan on Roma and Pocket respectively, Beitler, Whittler on Demo Man, and Tal on the Medic.
Yeah, I mean, these two teams, they have played each other a few times this season. All four maps they've played against each other being different, and it's led to a pretty interesting pick ban, as we do have that pick ban finished. We'll quickly run through the bans. We had Product and Gullywash banned in the first wave, Sunshine and Prolands following, and the three maps we are going to be seeing tonight, we're going to start off on Snakewater. Then for the second map, we're going to be going to Logjam, and if we need a third, Superheroes have decided it will be Process. So some just, nice normal maps here, starting off and ending if needed with a, pretty staple map. Logjam thrown in by What's Our Name in the middle. A bit of a spanner in the works there.
Yeah, certainly the odd one has been played in Europe as well for a short bit. I can't imagine it's been here for that long in Australia. I don't remember exactly. It's been here for a little bit, though.
Yeah.
So, there has been time to practice it, but how much is the motivation for that is a different story entirely. Certainly, if you pick it, you hope that the work you put in is enough. With how close these two teams were before, it's going to be interesting if that's going to be a difference maker or not. They were, as I can see, really, really close in their previous results. The biggest scoring difference was 3 rounds in one of the games of the 4 maps they played, so it's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, definitely. We do have both our teams live right now. Both demos coming up onto mid. Bittler, he's a little faster than his counterpart. As he's just laying out the spam right now. Dip, he's getting aggressive in his own team's kitchen. He will find the back of Scandal and do a bit of damage before having to back up. But you've got some aggression coming in from Raylan across the point. He's had to give up the space as Aston's come chasing for him. But the health on the blue team right now, it's not that great. They're having to get some arrows from Tal, and Dip, really nice bomb in, landed on top of the med, but the rest of the aggression from his team has been caught out. They're going to lose 4 here, and that's going to be Sky and Munch turning tail and getting all the way back to last with their Uber.
Yeah, it's enough for them to win mid, but without the medic kill, it's going to be hard to keep momentum going anywhere at all. Surely this is just going to be a re-push into mid very shortly. Not going to waste much time here. They just get the spawns up and are pretty much ready to go. Obviously, you want to be careful not to get forced here. On the other side, obviously, you want to do as much as you can to force out this Uber as best you can. It's going to be coming down to how much each team can do exactly what they need to do here.
Yeah, and you've got Superheroes right now. They're getting aggressive through lower. It looks like they're going to bring Munch up through kitchens, but with no eyes on, they're going to come right out below both of the soldiers. Munch will end up using his Uber on the Demo Man, but he's going to jump forward and find nothing. They'll kill Rail, and Scandal will get out, and it's going to end up being about a 40% Uber advantage for the side of What's Our Name, so they'll be happy with that trade.
Yeah, that's certainly all in the favor, like you said, with this advantage. They, especially given the fact that they barely lost anything at all with this, just this sort of forcing is the best case scenario here. They can pretty much just go back straight in here after they build it up, get the spawn back up on field, and are ready to trade this back out. However, we've seen how it can go. They need to do this better now themselves, and not fall the same victim here to a force attempt. On their own attempt to get in here. Otherwise, this will just go back and forth for a little bit if they cannot help to break this, or if they're just willing to use, we'll see.
Yeah, who knows? Tal is getting aggressive, but no, dies to the trap on the point.
Oh no.
Jack's perfect stickies finding the medic, and you've even got some of the players from Superheroes getting aggressive here. Deadstar and Dip made some aggression through the kitchen, but they've fallen back as Munch and the rest of his combo has come through. High bomb onto Munch, won't get a lot of damage done onto him. And it's just the sack attempts coming in, player after player for What's Our Name. Scandal and Susu both coming in. A double attempt will get the force out, but at what cost? They're only 2 up now and may not be able to defend second.
Yeah, that's the pain of the early attempts of the sack wave. It just wasn't much of a wave, right? It was just like singular people going in after another. Eventually more than one at the same time will eventually get the force. Nice trap up forward spawn 2 actually in a row. Bill still tries his luck though through the spawn door. Does not get lucky either with the snipe. Would have helped obviously, but not that much. A red kill or something like that would be nice, but point is they're already down 1 and they're just gonna try anyway right now with the dry push regardless of having or not on superheroes. Not going well though.
No, Jack was actually left alone. Tal has been put on 5 health with Aston falling to the sticky. Tal is gonna get out alive as Deadstar backs to second and gets a pack. But yeah, just Jack being left alone on that attempt to push into last. I believe it was Sky who took a bit of damage and brought the attention of Munch back. Deadstar does actually get caught in lower, so he's out. We've got even... Actually, no, never mind. It was even Uber's last I checked, but it's about a 20% advantage for superheroes now, so... What's our name?
Slowly dwindling though. Yeah, they could be, but no one's really acting off it at all, so I don't think they're gonna be able to in the end. Probably not anticipating it to be quite as much as it might have been. And even 20% is still just barely able to get it. If you get in early, if they stuff them in in any capacity, that would have been a disaster as well, so... If they did know, they played it safe. If they didn't know, it's a little bit unfortunate, I suppose. Either way, the stalemate is what we have here. Raiden tries to sack through Knight pretty quickly through the kitchen area. See if there's a counter-sack attempt by superheroes.
It looks like Dip and Aston, they're both sitting in lower right now. They're deciding to just back up and take some spam instead of losing a player, so I don't mind. Oh, actually, let's say that Dip, huge bomb. It gets some good damage on the Bitler, but that's not the medic. That's not gonna swing the advantage in favor of anyone, so... More stalemating here, but we might see what's our name. Okay.
Off class by Deadstar, picking up the sniper rifle, while the rest of the team's trying to obviously walk him in, leaning already to a kill on one of the scouts. That helps quite a bit. One less threat for the sniper to have to worry about, or for the rest of the team for that matter, so Deadstar just trying to work the sideline through the choke area into grass, seeing if there's anything good to get here.
Yeah, he does find his opening shot, a full charge body shot onto Scandal, so they'll know he's here. He's holding some solid sightlines here. Nobody able to get aggressive from the side of what's our name, and Dip, he might be able to take advantage of this, but he's getting caught in Susu and a kill onto Raylan. Both falling, 2-player disadvantage, and Talon Co, they're just going to look to leave. No one else wants to die here. That would be a huge disaster. And Bitler, he's so close to getting caught, he will manage to fight off Dip. And actually, we're going to see players get very low and low as the Scandal went in for an attempt. That only leaves 3 alive on the side of what's our name. We're going to see Ubers traded in as they get 2 spawns. No one's falling just yet. Dip getting a flash to try and take the fight on the height. Both soldiers falling down quite low. Jack finally the first casualty of this fight. Raylan falls quickly as well, with Sky getting cleaned up by Bill. We've slowed it down a little bit. Dip and Deadstar having to fall back through top left. Dip dying to the demo man. It looks like Deadstar's going to get abandoned by his team as well. Just focusing on keeping Munch alive there is Aston, and yeah, just not a successful push for superheroes. That sniper push, it's always difficult to make work.
Yeah, which is unfortunate as well, because sniper push into second was actually really, really good. They just slowly but surely choked them out completely from second, but they just really wanted to crush us in onto last, and the exchange getting the spawn back up in the field was much too much to deal with for superheroes. Now trying to get the mid on what's our name. It's even Ubers, if they want to make this work, they need to be quick, and right now it looks like they're just about doing it.
Yeah, definitely. Scandal getting a kill on the Aston, 1 soldier advantage, and especially when you're coming into when you're fighting mid on Snake, having soldier, it's a really important class just because of how long it takes the other classes to get onto the height. So soldiers, just 1 rocket you up there, lose 20 health for. And of the soldiers losing 20 health, Scandal jumps in and loses all 200 of his hit points, going for the sack. It's a little bit of damage, but you know, nothing a few arrows won't fix as Munch. He's getting some heals up on his players. It looks like we're going to see another Deadstar sack. He's taking a fight against Bill and will fall for it. I don't know if that was his plan, though.
Oftentimes it is, if you just like want to be a little bit too aggressive and just go sniper with it. Obviously has plenty of sniper before here just a minute ago, so wouldn't be hugely surprising. I guess we'll see in any moment here. Either way, it doesn't look like what's our name is too keen to act with it, so intentional or not, it's not going to be anything that gets punished here on superheroes. They're just going to be able to sit pretty on second for a little bit longer here, wait out the spawns, and it's Deadstar spawning Spy instead.
Yeah, I'm curious, is he checking? He was checking for the other sniper. Actually, a really good time for Scandal to fall. It's going to put the ball in Superhero's court, and that's going to allow them to make some room for their sniper. And they know there's no counter sniper. That's what Deadstar was checking before, so let's see what he can do with his opening shot. Tal is in a safe position now, but Bill might fall victim. Deadstar, he's not peeking just yet. He'll whiff his first shot. They know there's the sniper, and Bill's actually looking to get close. Maybe take a bullet for Bitlo, who is still on the wrong side of that sightline.
Now it's where the tough part begins, though, because last time the sniper just slowly but surely got more and more ground covered with the rest of the team onto second. They have to do it into mid now, which is arguably a lot more difficult. But still, if the side of what's our name is too careful about it again, just tries to dodge the sideline more that they're trying to fight through it a little bit, which you sometimes just really have to. You just end up giving so much space to the team with the sniper that they're just gonna take all of it. They need to be able to combat it somehow, and their answer to it is to put up their own sniper once again here.
Yeah, both of them looking to trade shots in Saw. Not holding the angle too long is Scandal. So Deadstar, he did get, I believe he got a pipe to the feet to push himself off of the angle, so both going to be rotating around a bit here, but I'd say the Scandal does have the advantage here in terms of the angles that he can peek. Deadstar, if he wants to peek grass, he does have to go into a really awkward position. And look at how far out Scandal is. He's actually gone really far out. With the cover of Bill, he will fall to Aston. Nice bomb in there to avoid the damage from the 2-hit scan classes, but also get the kill. So it's going to open things up for Deadstar again, as he's just getting this really nice angle. His team is forcing this for him so well. A lot of damage getting done onto Tal from the body shot, but they're back on the safe side, able to back out if needed, and we have Scandal coming up back on Soldier, so they'll let Deadstar do his thing on Sniper, knowing it's very difficult for him to push into mid on the class. Susu so close to killing the Sniper, but he will fall to the body shot, as we may just see more aggression come in, although with 2 up, they might look to push this even with the Sniper.
Yeah, a little sort of 1v1 in Saw, just going the way of Atten, barely getting out with 10 health as well to escape after someone else pushed up, and that's just gonna be really tough now for what's her name, already so far back and all that. Through the sniper side, even trying to get a force to be difficult. It's only falling back, but deciding to try to use through, still dropping Scandalous in the process though.
Yeah, definitely. He was trading. Nothing else will really happen. Tal and Bill will leave through lowers before their Uber even fades. No chance of them going down as, yes, Superiors. They're going to take mid, and I imagine with this Soldier down, not getting the forward spawn, they're going to start to look to make some room for their sniper here. Jack is sticking up Saw, so no sack attempts or even aggression will come through there. And Deadstar, you can see, he's watching grass. He knows he's not going to mess around with Saw. Take the sightline that favors you. And let's see if he can make it work again for his team.
Yeah, this push looked really nice last time. I'm honestly kind of surprised I'm not trying to do this before the Uber already and just like fake them out a little bit, coming in with the pressure early before the Ubers up, and just make them think about just like how they want to approach it. So do they want to fall back, just get the Uber and give them all the space with the sniper? Because that's exactly what they want, right? They want the space as free as possible with the sideline to work with as well. At the moment, they're not taking the risk themselves. Obviously, not having your own Uber kind of makes you vulnerable to being bombed as well. So there's pros and cons here. They're trying to play it safe for now. They will just keep having to find a way for Deadstar to eventually be of value here. And it's not that he has surprise factor anymore as well. It's a known quantity for the last few minutes here. Susu, for that matter, also putting up the sniper rifle up again to try to counteract this. Hasn't worked too well for what's our name though.
No, but I like the way that they didn't. They didn't send in a sack. They just ran Susu back to spawn, come up on the snipers. So before he was found, it was a bit of an element of surprise, but he's taken a good shot, peeked through lower, through the sticky trap, and he gets the drop onto Munch. Oh, Jack, if he was only watching the trap, it would have been the easiest deny of a pick of his life, but no. He'll instead find the trap kill onto Raylan. Dip goes in aggressive and does get the early force onto Tal, so it's not the end of it all for Superheroes, as Tal's actually been left alone in mid. Aston will find Tal, and that's a bit of a disaster. Everyone went back to deal with the player behind. And that's going to actually net Superheroes a pretty decent advantage. 12 seconds still left on Tal's spawn, and Raylan, he's got a decision to make, and he's not going back to spawn with Tal, or at least wait for them outside the spawn. So you can have some Superheroes aggression coming. Deadstar will die early, but I'll be interested to see if they continue to fight this with the heals. They are all entering in, but all into the eyes of what's our name. Dip will get a kill onto Raylan and has done a lot of damage onto Bill. Tal is looking to enter the fight now, and Jack, Munch, and Sky, they've decided to back out. They're not worth taking that player disadvantage fight into the heals. They're going to play their 55% Uber out here.
And after that, like, quick few kills here, especially on the medic here on Tal, it's understandable superheroes wanted to get back into mid quickly, but they did it so rushed. Everyone just in one by one, and two of them died immediately, the second one following through very shortly after as well. And just not a well-coordinated push into mid, and it will cost them all of mid, and potentially second as well. They will pop through to try to keep this. Catching Raylan early, getting Bill as well. What's our name? Not too aware of the Uber situation right now. Player behind it, Scandalous, has nowhere to go either, completely stuck. They get the force, I suppose. They will definitely lose second fort though, so it's just a matter of if they can get it back with their spawns now.
Yeah, and they do get two of their spawns on mid. Bill and Raylan dying early, catching that early spawn wave, but the aggression, it's all coming in through low. The entire combo of superheroes has gone through. Aston's fallen. Jack has had to leave as well. Dip getting caught in lobby, but Deadstar is being a bit of a nuisance in the rear here, taking a nice double pipe from Bitler though to destroy that, as he will end up being a Deadstar on the midpoint. Jack and Shy. That's not Shy, that's Sky. That's a K, not a H, Mike. Different letters. But either way, they're building on last with this Uber ad.
Alright, what's her name? Slowly but surely, starting to get some, like, proper structure back in the game. This was a much better start for superheroes this entire match so far, but the last few minutes are getting better and better for what's her name. They're able to punish these mistakes a lot better and catch them in weird positions, and that's really all they need right now. It's still a close game, it's still tied at 0 each. So anything will be huge right now if they can actually finish up around right now. Obviously, not going to have the momentum for it now. In fact, superheroes is trying to take their chances. No one's getting dead on. I don't think Wittler saw the trap at all at the time they were crossing through.
Oh no, Jack does get dropped in the Uber. Aston actually falls as well in lobby. Bill being the only lost Scandal now as well for the side of What's Our Name, but only having 3 players up on last, the rest of What's Our Name coming in, they are going to clean up that first round. 15 minutes down, 15 to go, and that was a real back and forth fight. Neither team looking like they were in control until the very end of the...
Yeah, but it came down to just like the good old pushing out of Snake into Snake second is a really difficult situation where they just try to have 10 ad, and it's just not going to do it most of the time.
Yeah, definitely. And onto this second, Jack got very aggressive, tried to put some damage onto Bitler, but didn't quite hit these stickies to do so. Aston and Dip, the quick double bomb in, a lot of damage fallen onto Tau, and both medics will die at the same time. Sky getting put very low in his own lowers will find the pack and regroup with his team. Bitler, the sole survivor of What's Our Name, and I think he should be able to get out fine here, jumping into lobby. And yeah, he'll be well out of range of Jack's stickies, as they're going to claim the second mid for superheroes, but it will end up being even Ubers, as both meds did die in the blink of an eye on that mid.
Yeah, great bombs all around, just much better, quicker cleanup by superheroes after that to get everything else caught very fast as well, leaving only the demo man. And as long as they're a bit careful about traps, it's not going to be much of an issue. Still going to be around here, obviously. Sticks forward in lobby right now, as both teams building away these Ubers. It's like barely an advantage due to the fact that it's crit streak on Munch, but I mean, if you pick the crit streak, you want the surprise factor, you want this to work for you of the tiniest advantages that you can get out of it, so we'll see.
And they don't call this man Sticky Trap Jack for no reason. He's coming in. The crits, he's got it. First Sticky coming through. It hasn't found anyone just yet. Tal doesn't quite have the Uber, but is in spawn and isn't healing. The Stickies, first crit Sticky kill will fall onto Bitler. And it's a bit of a scrappy fight here. Players all over the place. But Tal does have the Uber. So if needed, they'll be able to push out and take this fight, regardless of how much crits Munch builds. So, it's going to be a little bit of a stalemate here while What's Our Name? God, forgetting the team name, player names here. Either way, they're going to get their, they're going to keep their Uber. Play the Spy on Scandal? Is he staying on this?
At the moment, not really. He's just checking about, going spec to soldier, so they're not trusting too much on the Spy right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if that probably the correct hold as well. As the crit comes in on the second against the Uber, but the backup happened at the same time. They're getting rid of it so far, so the disaster might be over. Anton on the point with Sky as well. That just about will do it. Scandalous couldn't block this for long enough.
That's a way to equalize it. Very quick round, caught off of a back cap with the crits running the distraction in the front, needing to commit that Uber so you don't get crits on and last, and it's going to be even rounds, one apiece. So yeah, Jack, Bitler, they're going to go at it again, trying to trade stickies, but neither one of these demo men really getting hit at all. And they are putting a lot of their stickies onto each other, not taking a lot of control on the high. That's being left to the scouts of both teams, Deadstar and Susu both falling. Scandal getting a lot of damage onto the comp, but he will have to back up as the rest of his team is just falling. Raylan down, Tal did die in all of that chaos. Bill's left on very low health. And again, Bitler, the sole survivor, with a bit more health this time. He'll stick around because of his health and set up some traps this time. He's not all the way out, so that's another big advantage with Munch running the Uber, not sticking on the crits for much longer.
Alright. Well, Bitler might have taken his time to put up some traps, but no one's going that way. They're all coming grass with the combo right now, so they're nice and safe from that at least. Already getting to second. They want to wrap this point up as fast as possible, getting to last with this advantage if they can help it here to finally bring themselves into a lead, maybe. Certainly not too late to do that right now. As you can see, what's our name already setting up the defense, gun being built, they're building on Eva as well. It's advantage, but it's not that much. What Superheroes needs to be as fast as they can if they really want to catch anyone before Eva comes out for Tal.
Yeah, and I really like the way that Raylan is playing. He's not committing too hard into lobs, but he's just doing enough damage so that Superheroes cannot push. And by the time they're going to get through, Jack is not committing the Uber through the door. He instead wants to get the gun down first, and he will get, but he's been put very low outside of the Uber. Munch having to rush forward and get the kill. And, I mean, that's going to be a very late Uber coming out from What's Our Name, so they should be able to fight this pretty easily, but they're in a tough spot. They've just lost Bitler, as well as having a two-player disadvantage, but the health for the players that are in of Superheroes right now, it's not great. Bill having to pull out wonders here just against Jack, but Jack, he's gone for the melee. He will find it. He'll get the melee kill on the floor as well. Oh my god! With the pain
I was
train.
about to say that he was just like missing one sticky too much at the attempt to get back in here, but this just works.
It's all calculated. Oh my god, Jack pulling out the pain train. True to its name, it will put his team in the lead with 10 minutes left on the clock here. Neither demo. Bill is trying to find damage on the Jack, but it'll be Raylan that can clean up that frag, trading his life for the kill. But Bill will fall. Munch dying to the aggression from Scandal in lower. Scandal is looking for a kill onto a scout who's rushing Bitler right now. Bitler will fall. So we have a 2v1 for Scandal, and he's in a rough spot here. He will fall to Aston.
It keeps being wins on the mid for Superheroes, but never by a lot. Last one was better than this one, obviously, still, but last like 3 have been just these really scrappy fights. The one thing is clear for both teams. They really just want these mad deaths as early as possible, and both soldier pairs are on it right away, and none of the rest of the team can really stop them at the moment, which is really the problem here. Both medics going down this time means all the momentum out of the sails for either side, which I guess still favors Superheroes for the time being. Still, 10 minutes to go is quite a bit of time that you have to stall here. You want to just have the 1 point lead be enough, so we'll see what What's Her Name has to offer to break this stalemate here. For now, it's Bill on Sniper. We've seen just what everyone snipe on the team now.
Yeah, pretty much. We've had Scandal, we've had Bill, we've had, oh man. We had Deadstar for a little bit on the side of Superheroes, so yeah, everyone getting their hand in it, so we'll see what Bill can do. He is just, he's holding pretty passive here, sitting on the log, waiting for someone to come in, but no one's peeking their heads down. I think he had to have heard that shot. I'm sure they have an idea that this sniper's up, so we'll see if he can find anything. He's taken the same angle that pretty much every sniper has favored so far, but no one's showing there just yet. Deadstar will fall into it, but no, shot will not ring out. So he'll come for seconds.
Well, he still has the second to work with, though. The failing 1 attempt isn't too bad, as long as he can get more Deadstar. Having a 1v1 up there as well in Saw goes really weak. Raylan comes in, leaves 3 rockets. That last one will do. Still Susu dies one anyway, as Dip comes out to just help clean up a little bit more. So a little bit of a messy fight there. Will work out about same way for both sides. He both losing with scout each. Doesn't change much about anything about the situation at hand. He Bill's still sniping, and Superheroes are really, really careful about it, giving up a lot of space just to stay out of the sideline. It is safe, to be fair, but if they just are not careful about this as well, how they're doing it right now, they're just going to allow him to peek deeper and deeper.
Yeah, although they do have Deadstar up on Snipe. It worked out nicely for Superheroes, the fact that that both scouts died at the same time. It meant that there wasn't the risk of a push, and that let Dead Star come up on the sniper essentially for free, because with no scouts on What's Our Name from that trade, they just had to kind of sit there and be patient. But Dead Star, nice shot bringing out onto Susu, won't be able to clean it up though. And the rest of his team's there, positioning, ready to make a push happen if the pick comes their way, but it's not yet. Dead Star having to back out through Kitchen because of the Soldier Rockets. And Bill's actually run back and swapped off of the sniper, so we might try and see something come out here. 7 minutes left on the clock here. What's Our Name actually coming in? Whoa. Susu had a really good opportunity on the Munch there, just couldn't quite hit the shots. I think someone on the team just flipped through him and ate the damage instead, so Munch will be thanking his teammates for that one. As Dead Star, where's he peeking? He's actually running back. No more snipers. Sniper, no sniping, as we're going to try and see some action here. These teams want to be running for double scout speed. That's what we like to call TF2.
Which is surprising, because they don't really need to. Yeah, like, I was going to say, they don't need to switch off the off-class right now. They have the lead, so why do something that gets the pace up if they just need to slow this down? And, I mean, a heavy will do that just fine, I guess. A little bit random in the middle of the stairway, I think. If you're expecting a push or doing one yourself, it makes more sense. But I guess they were right. There's the push. What's her name? Hard pressed on time right now. Need to get in here. Exchange trade through. Decent one in terms of, like, it just being fine in the end. They get out again. They got the Uber Force early, so they have the ability to get out. Other than that, not much happening. With the heavy in front of them, they certainly don't want to stay in here at all.
I say the heavy in front of him. He took the opportunity very deep into Kitchen. And Bill and Raylan, they decided to enter there now. Lucky timing. I guess I call it lucky timing for them not running into a heavy. It's kind of lucky. Especially as he's looking to take height. He's actually got the gloves of running urgently on. He tried to get onto the roof. It's a tough jump, but I do believe it is possible. So if he can get up there, that's gonna really catch some players off guard. He just got a heavy on the roof. But no, he's gonna opt to just sit behind the house. As with the gloves of running urgently, you do lose health while you have them out, so while, you know, he may be able to get up there if he tries long enough, you don't want to be on 150 health as a heavy when they're coming in. You're just a big fat target.
They're coming in. Ooh, the trap though. Susu goes down again. Trying to walk this forward. They didn't use yet, which helps, I suppose, but they're not leaving this just yet. They want to try to get something out of it at the very least. Not looking good. Now Bittler will overextend forward, and that's everything falling apart here right now. They might just push this forward with the heavy. What are you going to do? You can't really jump this all too well.
No, definitely not. And Sticky Trap Jack living up to his name. Raylan with the high bomb in. The heavy isn't revved up, so it's an opportunity, but I'm not quite sure how that works. No damage done at all onto Munch, but the Uber gets forced out from the counter-aggression from Dip. This is a heavy Uber, and it's getting everything that they want. Susu may get caught behind it, sitting in cheese, but they don't quite know he's there. He'll be able to find the backs of some players. The heavy left to catch. Susu will opt to just leave. While Superheroes, they're coming in. The last aggression coming in from Aston. He's playing the point, bringing people into Jack Stickies, and Jack's just going to stand on the point. He's been playing the pain train. It's been really dangerous for them, as he just wants to stand on the point behind his Stickies, and with the heavy coming in, and the airstrike from Dip, that's going to be 3-1 in favor of Superheroes with 4 minutes left. I think we might, no, okay, he did swap off of heavy. No heavy to mid shenanigans here, but they've put themselves in a really comfortable position.
That certainly was, though, the heavy of a team that, like, did this before at least once to know how they want to, like, have this heavy position in these fights. They certainly didn't do it just out of random, and they didn't need to, right? Like, if they're down and desperate and put up a heavy, maybe they're doing it out of, like, just sheer necessity, but they knew what they were doing there. As the bombs come in deep already, Riley with some great damage. Doesn't get to the medic, though.
No, definitely not. Dip is he actually lives. I'm not quite sure how Dip gets out alive. They will not die to the roller. He'll keep his life. Both medics alive, but Aston, he's the only player alive, so Munch, he's not healing. He's all the way back at spawn. He's finally healing his players now, but it's ended up being about a 30% disadvantage for them, so if Tal has any idea that this might be happening, and they did see Aston aggressive, so they might know that they have the advantage here. They just need to be careful for this soldier behind.
I mean, at this point, they don't have much of a choice on what's on aim anyway. They will pretty much just have to go in and fight this if they want to or not, and they're making it hard for the multiplayer too. Aston just finds the force on second, jumping in from lower. No one had any clue. They were tunnel visioning, just capping in and going forward. They didn't check for people. Great force to get, because how are they going to approach last right now?
Yeah, heavy, NG, and Oob. Jack finding another kill with his traps. And that will be Bill. We might see the opportunity here for them to come up on an off class, but at the same time, it's not what they need. They need speed here, and off class is not going to make their game any faster. You will stay on this side. I like that call. I think if he went on an off class, if this was 10 minutes ago, I'd be fine. You know, go spy, go sniper, try something. But at this point, you need a round in the next minute, really, to be able to stay in the game. The gun will fall, and Tao's coming up close on the Uber, so there is the opportunity for them to close out a round here. They're gathering around the shutter door, looking to make something happen.
Yeah, I mean, they have to do it fast. Ubers up and ready to go there. You will pop through shutter. They will pop through straight away to try to catch anything at all, but nothing's being done. The level 1 takes over to go down. Munch can use this lane even, hold the entire way through to just force people back out of this, and while they're taking an attempt to kill people, they're all so weak they're not going to do anything even if they stay in at all. And at that moment, slowly but surely, they're going down one by one here on what's her name.
Yeah, and there's just nothing you can do against a heavy sitting on the point, especially when the heavy gets a full-length Uber in the middle of your own Uber, and a minute 30 left. And, I mean, that's gonna... There's still the opportunity for What's Our Name to get around. They can make it 3-2, but at this point, it is impossible for them to win this map. So, Superheroes, they will claim the first map as we enter a little bit of dead time. But let's see what can happen. Susu is up on the spy, so maybe look to get a pick on the Munch, get the drop for the stats. You know, this is the opportunity you take when his defenses are low.
We'll see if it works. Like you said, it doesn't matter too much for the map right now. It matters maybe a little bit just to have some momentum going to the next map. That can certainly have an effect, not more than some people want to give it credit for. There's the stab. That helps. That's like the small things in life that makes you feel better going out of a loss into the next map.
Oh, I feel so bad for Munch. He practically, Susu walked up to him, gave him a hug, and stabbed the knife in his back. That was a face stab if I've ever seen one, so, you know, hey, it's for the logs, he gets the one drop in, so they'll be happy with that small morale boost, as we do have an Uber coming in. They'll see if they can clean up around in the last 10 seconds. Uber fading, they haven't dealt with the heavy just yet, but he will melt. It looks like they will manage to clean up at that round in the final seconds. 3-2 is the final scoreline for the first map, but it is still in favor of Superheroes. As that was a really back and forth map. That scoreline, I'm happy with that scoreline. That definitely indicates how close this first map was.
Yeah, this was just tied at like 1-1 and 0-0 for the longest time here until eventually someone pulled ahead. Took them some work here. Off classes by Superheroes doing a lot of work. The heavy obviously stands out a little bit here, but still, the snipers, any of them, primarily Deathstar, I think it was for them, did really well as well. Surprising swath of it for the end for the heavy, but I mean, clearly it worked too. They just expected the team that is 2 down to just have to get desperate and try to get some fights into mid. And how are you going to do that and stay in the face of a heavy?
Yeah, definitely. The heavy, it was played for so little, such a little amount of time, but it was such a huge impact for Superheroes, and they barely ran it on last. Like, there was that one last hold that I think that the heavy did just win them that last hold. On top of the gun, it was just too big of an obstacle to overcome, and with the Uber as well, they just couldn't break through it until later. But the heavy on mid, it just killed the pace that What's Our Name needed to make at that point in the game. Like, they could have kept on the sniper and tried to slow them down that way, or they could have come back up on Scout as we thought he was going to do, and just take fights there and try to win the fights. But no, they sat on the heavy, they slowed it down, they ended up losing that round, I believe. I'm pretty sure they did end up losing that round. No, wait, they didn't. They turned it into the win with the heavy pushing in the second, that's right. But still, they were in a position where they were on the, they were on the defense there, holding mid into the Uber, and I know, it turned things in their favor. It was the X factor. As we do have some logs. And these logs, I mean, Jack, what a game. Top fragging, top damaging. Just a massive presence on the map, really.
I mean, you might say he's called like Trap Jack or whatever it was, but after today he's more of a jackhammer. What happened on the last push? Just whacking away and no one could stop him.
Yeah, definitely. He's leaving his days of sticky trap Jack behind. And so, yeah, 24 to 11, 233 DPM. And while you might think, 233 DPM in most games that might be considered fairly low, but considering the next highest was 203, and then no one else on the server got above 200, that first round really just killed the DPM of everyone on the server. 15-minute stalemates will kind of do that for you. So, hey, considering the pace of the game, 233 is definitely a good DPM. He'll be taking that one, and the 24 kills as well. That's the more shocking part to me. I could have called that Jack would have been top damage just because of the way he was playing, but to be 5 kills ahead of the next person, which was Sky on Scout, that's just really good, showing that not only is he sitting there and making the damage for his scouts to come in and clean up the kills for, he's doing enough on his own. So many trap plays. There was the one misplay on the trap where the sniper just peeked in and got the drop on the Munch, but outside of that, he was playing really well, good positioning with his team. And if he can keep this up on this map is... let me double check. I'm pretty sure this map is their pick. No, never mind. They are the upper seeds. So, this is What's Our Name's pick of Logjam. And,
well, it has to work out now, and one thing that has to go better is the mid fights as well. Mm-hmm. They had 2 mid wins, but the entire middle part was just dominated by these, maybe some close, but always successful ones for superheroes, getting the medic and keeping enough people alive at the end. They just were always able to definitely get the medic, but after that, just clean up that bit faster, have to focus fire quicker on whatever they needed to kill to keep themselves alive, even if just barely, even if Bittler was the last one alive at the end of this one. He just couldn't contest with the rest of the team anymore at that point, and that just can't happen here on Logjam.
No, definitely not, although there is a silver lining. It's the fact that whenever What's Our Name won a mid, they did win the round. They won the mid of the first round, which, after 14 minutes, they eventually closed out. And they did win the final round, which they did win the mid for. So they definitely show that if they win the mids, they can convert them into rounds. They just need to be able to do that on Logjam. And on a map like Logjam, the soldiers, they can be really hit or miss. Right, your soldiers can get in a massive double bomb, land on the demo and the medic, and just win the mid for you right there. Or they can end up sitting passive on a house, get pestered by scouts for 20 seconds, and then just die or leave. So I need to see them kind of making the plays in their favor, not necessarily aggression, but just, play what they need to do on the mids and win, get the kills, do the damage.
Also, since we just joined the server, I like how the pre-game DM on this map to this day still isn't fixed.
Yeah.
It's very interesting to see people just walk around below the map.
Oh, yeah, wait, what? Okay.
It's quite the sight.
Yeah, okay. They're just chilling below choke, I think it's a sign. Spot. Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to see that pulled out in a game. Spy hiding below the map, and then just jumps up through the floor. So,
well, but yeah, like you said, Wiethoofd's going to be interesting with how big it is. Yeah, you have some options, but like you said, it's difficult for the soldiers, and they have been the difference makers last map for sure on the mid fight. They had all 4 of them had huge impacts on the mids throughout all the different mid fights we had. So it's going to be difficult to keep that up, I think, with how this mid fight plays out. Like you said, we'll see if they can manage somehow. Obviously, like you said as well, it is What's Our Name's map pick here. They hopefully have the practice going for it. That doesn't mean Superheroes is unprepared though. Obviously with how players goes, you have the option to ban something, and they at the very least weren't afraid not to ban this out.
Yeah, and especially you get 2 bans as well, so it's not even like the top seeded team gets the short end of the stick. They get 2 bans as well, and I have actually just taken a look to see if What's Our Name have played or have been picking Logjam. And I actually just checked the semi-final that they played last week. They actually banned Logjam last week. So maybe, maybe not comfortable against it again, or comfortable on it against some other teams, pardon me, but definitely feeling like this is their map to take. So you never know. It's, it is Logjam. It is a bit of a weird one. It's no Snake Water or Process, so they might be able to make something happen, as we do have ready-ups through. We are live in the second map.
Yeah, Logjam, it will be after the first map. Superheroes up a map in this best of 3 series. Let's see if What's Our Name can fight back on their own map pick here. Superheroes can close this match out in 2.
Yeah, and both DuMmTm very fast rollout, getting the pack. We're gonna see them look to trade some stickies here. Jack, he's getting a little bit better of the trade at this point, knocking Bitler down to the low ground. They'll both get healed up, but Jack taking some spam from the soldiers. Raylan taking a really nice position and not being punished for it just yet. Scandal high bomb in. Will actually do a bit of a loop around as Aston comes in for the first aggressive bomb. Will waste all rockets, but will get the kill onto Bitler. Munch finds a kill actually onto Scandal. And, oh, Tal. So low, but it's a 3v3 double scout meds apiece, so let's see who can win it. Mid will fall for what's our name, they get the cap, but focus fire really good. Bill will fall. Deadstar and Sky, they know who they're shooting, and the second scout will actually get dropped as well. Tal Ubering for themselves. Raylan will get the second half of the Uber, but with both scouts alive, they aren't going to be able to do anything. They just need to leave, and they've put themselves at a full Uber disadvantage. Brilliant coordination coming out from Sky and Deadstar there.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. Just post-Uber, not post-Uber, post-mid-fight, they always have to better focus fire, and it's just really showing right now. Dropped player or not, it was already going to be bad, and that dropped player into just the Uber or nothing makes it so much worse. Trap coming out only gets Dip, not the medic. Not quite what Bitler was hoping for, but it helps at least a little bit. Dip gone for 15 seconds, for seconds being capped up, and they have to go quickly if they want to actually make anything out of this advantage, and they're already giving him enough time to set up a heavy, set up at least some sort of gun. Hopefully enough to hold this round together here. We'll see if it is, as that's surely gonna come in here any moment.
Yeah, you'd think so, Jack. He's positioning aggressively. The gun just about to get to level 3 as the Uber does come out. They need to get at least the gun or the heavy, ideally both in this Uber. Gun will fall. Bill falling very low. He will get the kill onto Jack, but with both off classes falling, and the health on the side of Superhero is not great. They're dragging so many players onto the point. Munch looks like he will actually get a kill onto Susu, and is fighting Tal. He got the sword. Tal gets the Uber. They will kill, or rather, they won't kill much, but they'll force him to kill by 20-second respawn. They'll be liking that advantage that they'll get from it, and the fact that they can push out 2-second.
Yeah, the fact that they had to force in the medic 1v1 obviously is unfortunate, so the fact that they forced Munch to killbind as well makes up for a good bit of advantage lost because of that. This could have been just Uber into mid here potentially. Not even that, because nothing's alive really to stop them right now. So this could have been Uber into second. They still have advantage into second though, even if not by a lot anymore. Superheroes need to use this as much as they can though here. Any time stalled onto second is just really valuable for them right now. They need to stop them as much as they can here, either to keep second alive or at the very least find themselves with Uber on last still.
Yeah, definitely. And Jack, he's got some traps on. The ones on Choker being clear, but there is some in the bush. Bill, he'll walk right past them, and Jack will claim the kill. Scout down just as the Uber comes up. And it looks like they still want to push this in. Tal coming in, not forcing just yet, but Munch, he's in a safe position. Coming up on 90% Uber now, and they'll decide to give it up. They're not going to fight just yet, knowing it's the even Ubers. Yeah, they'll just sit on last. I don't know if they'll go for any off classes though. They might look to just take the trade and push out with a better fight, but they need to be careful as, you know, they're fighting on last. If it doesn't go their way as much as they want it to, they could end up just dropping around right here, and that'd be very early for it. But Deadstar, he's not gonna let them do it. He's making the aggression on the sniper, killing Scandal, so this might be what they look for to push out.
We'll see. I mean, that's how they lost their one round on Snackwater as well. Just being a little bit too keen to leave last, and once again, just immediately trying to force themselves into lobby, try to take this fight, want to take the Uber fight in some capacity. So far, it's just Susu towards the combo, but not getting enough damage for force out of this one. And unbeknownst to them, there was a sniper on Bill as well that I think they realized it's time to not walk into too much, fall back all the way, and just take it safe for a little bit longer. He looks like at least some lessons have been learned from Snakewater.
Yeah, definitely Bill. He definitely had a little bit of time there where there was a shot possible on the Munch. He was just moving around a little too much, but he's going all over the place, left to right, peeking out each door, seeing what angles he can get. But the players on the side of Superheroes, they are being very proactive in stopping this sniper. Players watching every door possible and doing some good spam onto him. But the shot will come out onto Dip from Bill, as that's going to make some space for him on this left-hand side. He had a chance to get a kill onto Jack. They're not hitting it though, as Jack gets a good amount of damage on the Bill. But it's not the kill, and that's what you need onto the sniper. It doesn't matter how much damage you do to him. Is if he can go back and get an arrow from his med, doesn't matter how many arrows, he's still a threat, and you need to be careful. So it might just be a war of attrition here. See who slacks first.
Yeah, once again, similar start to last map. Both teams just going back and forth for a little while, but eventually there will just be this one stopping point. Bill trying to peek deep this time, doesn't want to wait anymore. I was about to say this is probably going to go back to the stalemate we've seen last map, but looks like what's our name very much aware of how that went for them last time, so as much as they won the round, they couldn't win the game because of it, and don't want to wait too much longer here on the counter side as well, as bombs coming into lobby, not going well for either Dip or Aston though. The knife pretty early, 2 down on last is sketchy, but is what's on them gonna dare?
I think they will, and I would definitely take their chances here. Susu getting the Uber used on him. Munch actually has to Uber, but everyone's left. He has no one in the Uber. His team is going to have to win these fights outside of the shiny players, but they do have the heavy coming. Dip getting a kill onto Susu. Tao will fall as well in that main area. Bitler, he will actually die. I'm not sure what he was doing re-peeking there. Bill, he will back up all the way through the house, not even giving it the opportunity to be spammed out and killed. So, I liked what they did. They like with the Uber aggression into the into the 2-player advantage. It's definitely a fight you can win, but they just got nothing with it.
Yeah, like you said, Munch might have to use or nobody, but in the end it doesn't matter because he had to use so late. Most people would have wasted even trying to get to him in the first place. At that point it was a disaster already. Bomb coming through Raylan. Susu tried to go deep. Munch will go down to that combined damage there. They need to be careful though. Aston already with the bomb on their medic as well. Hell, weak back into the show, trying to lift this as much as they can. The bombs are still coming through. Dip doesn't get it. Deadster in the backline as well. Gets one. Needs to just clean up the med here.
And that's a massive play. Oh, just delaying the spawn. That's cheeky. 7-second delay on the spawn. Rather, 8-second delay. So, hey, they'll take that. I'm surprised Cal didn't kill bind. Kind of the moment you're left alone in the 1v1 on the scout, I'd certainly be spamming that K key. And just, drop dead on the floor. No point delaying the spawn. They won't even get forward spawn. They're all the way back on last. That's just going to extend this Uber advantage for Munch. We might be seeing kind of like, what, 30, 40%? They're not, okay, never mind. They're not building too well. It'll be 30. But still, I think
enough ad that the other side has to be afraid of though, right? They just cannot expect this to be any less than just good enough advantage to play into second with here, so they have to be far back. They might want to have some sack attempts ready, but you can't overcommit too many players either. You just want to be as sure as possible that you get your only one last at this point.
Yeah, definitely, and I mean, you've got to be curious, right? They're not out, but they certainly aren't in. They're in a position where, if they know the push is coming, they can get out. Sticky's coming through doing so much damage. If Aston had managed to get through that window, it would have been a bit of a pounding coming through, but they managed to live despite the damage being done by the Stickies of Jack, and that's going to be full Uber advantage for them coming up on the Uber now, and I'm getting mixed signals from them. They're getting aggressive, but they have a gun and a soldier on last, so what are you doing, guys? Are you staying on last or are you pushing out? You need to make a team decision here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how the mid-fights have been, or the mid-pushes have been going. I would be surprised if they want to really be too keen right now and take the risk here. But they are. They don't want to go down one, but that might be a mistake to make. For now, it's going alright. Trading soldiers one each here on the attempt to take space. And for what it's worth, with the disadvantage they have, as small as it is overall, Spears is giving up the space here.
Oh no, but you've got Deadstar 1v1 against Bill on last. If he gets on the point, I don't think Scandal can make it in time. So close to Rocket, it just doesn't do enough damage. Scandal shooting a little bit short. As 9 minutes in, we go 1-0 up on Superhero. This time they will take the advantage in the score to lead it out. So again, just another backup coming out. I really like these backcaps for their opening rounds.
Let's see how the mid-fight goes. Last time went well enough for Superheroes with a good fight back. This time around, obviously, want to have maybe a little bit better than that, but anything will do. Let's see.
Oh, Aston, huge bomb is ended up right on top of Tau, but doesn't have any other rockets loaded. Deadstar's walked in with the pistol, done so much damage. But as long as they can keep Munch alive, which they actually don't, Bill placing his shots perfectly to shoot right between the players, and Susu and Tau are gonna leave. Although Susu, he does need to actually lead. Doesn't matter if your med gets out, they're not healing, and oh, Deadstar. They'll walk into Bitler and Tau, but the thing is, a demo, normally isn't good enough to protect the med, but Bitler's pipes in those situations have been on point. So maybe having faith in the double pipe of Bitler, as that's going to be an Uber advantage to retake mid here, but Tau, they won't want to use the Uber.
The bomb though. coming in all the way in the sky, hits 2 rockets. That's not good enough in the end. Hell, not using to that, not going down to it either. Close call on that one, but will work out. And once again, a really close mid, just about working out of just, like you said, some nice shots for Bill, and to pick up the medic there in the end, and just about early enough out of there on the mid as well for Tal to live. Now twice in a row, I guess, escaping with life barely. They're gonna take this as much as they can, obviously, just going back all the way into second, and Munch just doesn't have just yet, and obviously with that, Superheroes very much, rightfully so, afraid to take the fight too much here and just get back to last, build up this Uber as much as they can, get some off-classes going to just kill all momentum that might be here for what's her name, and keep this round alive more so than anything.
Yeah, they're all the way in, and they're looking to get the Force first. The Uber has been used on the Heavy, but no plays are Ubered right now. Again, another Uber for Munch, ending up on none of his team, but it works out for him. They'll get the kill on the Susu. That's the only player that falls in the Uber. Gun goes back up, the Heavy will swap off. Sky is back on Scout and building this Uber fast, looking to make sure they don't fall behind. And I imagine if nothing's happened by the time they build, he's probably back on that Heavy.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me either, to just make sure that no one's taking like any freedom here with any like funny attempts to bomb through it all. For what it's worth, I don't think they're gonna bomb too much just yet. They put Susu on Scout after they went down in the Uber. So Spy class it will be trying to sneak in mixed results with Spy last map, I suppose. But I mean, they better start working now, or it'll probably not be enough ever.
Yeah, they're getting some information from they'll find out where the gun is when Susu does. Well, can he see it? Yeah, he can see it. He can definitely see it from where it is. So they know where the gun is. They can hear the pyro. They've suspected the spy, but they don't know. They haven't found him. I think they just suspect it because of the lack of presence from what's our name. So
yeah, the less happens, the more obvious it becomes that there's probably a spy, maybe a sniper, if it's just like a really passive one hoping for you to push, but that hasn't really been the game these snipers have been playing too much, so spy is a reasonable assumption. Susu gets hit by something there. Is aware, there we go. The other one will hit and that will do the job just fine. So there you go. Spy has been diffused well ahead of time here. And it raises the question, what's the next play for what's her name gonna be?
Well, it's Susu, so you could see the sniper coming. It wouldn't surprise me. But do we see the absolute big brain, throbbing forehead play come out of the second spy? It's not. It's just Scout. That's boring. That's, yeah, they'll opt to look at taking an Uber trade, I guess. Raylan coming in with the sack. Scandal looks like he was trying to get into a position to spam the gun, but players have seen him. He will have to back out. He's actually going to decide to take the trade a little bit. The teleporter will fall again. Are they going for the yeah, they're going for the teleporter kill. Oh no. That would be a tragedy if it works, but good thing for what's our name. They're doing a good job at keeping that level 1 teleporter down. Very difficult kill being placed in the middle of this doorway that they can spam from the safety of lobby, but look, I've seen crazier things happen in the past month in this season's playoffs, so I'm not going to rule it out. But God
I've seen exactly the teleport happen before, so you never know. But at the very least, the teleport is just gonna be distracting in the sides, and just they want to shoot it. How can you not, right? So yeah. The mind game's working, I suppose. They spent so much time shooting that thing instead of doing anything productive. Eventually, the double spam from the flank comes in, so just getting the gun here. But with Raylan going down forward, they cannot really do too much with the timing they have here now. Level 1's already back up in the field. You want to be sacking off of this as quickly as you can, but it's just not going to be happening.
Now, my only gripe with the way that superheroes are set up right now is the fact that he's moving the gun. That's good. I was going to say the position of the gun, it was pretty bad. It was just like sitting in the middle, spammable from pretty much every door, and in the same spot that the Heavy wants to be playing. So just not great. But he's moved it to on the ground. He'll build it up to a level 3. So I mean that's a fine gun spot. Doesn't watch the point. You don't necessarily need it. You needed to draw the attention of the Uber, which still. Wait a minute. We've got an offensive Heavy.
I mean, we've seen that before. However, not out of what's her name. So looks like they're trying to yoink some strats here, see if that can work for themselves. Question is if they know what they want to do with this. For now, it seems post Uber Heavy. Going with the exchange is the plan right now. Munch will have to use quite a bit later, but not as bad as the last few times at least.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not too sure exactly what the plan was. They went in, traded Ubers, lost a player, and then showed the Heavy in lobby getting healed. The Heavy hasn't killed the teleporter yet. I'm kind of shocked not grabbing the free point. The gun will go down through the lobby. As I'm curious what their game plan is. What are you doing? Are you looking to push in here? What's our name? Or are you just trying to make a bit of a fuss? Bill looks like very close to falling, but this heavy is not letting anyone get through the door. As we have a bit of a heavy fight. The range they're playing, I might give the advantage to the actual minigun, but they're just both going to get pumped full of arrows regardless.
One pump full of ammo though, right? And went out of ammo there in the middle of the fight, had to fall back. Really unfortunate how the fight went down though. Susu wanted to go deep with the Uber, catch like one more player going in after the Uber got forced off the other team as well, but just got caught by the gun, couldn't leave it all, and that's just one down already. Makes the attempt to get back in with the heavy themselves a lot more difficult, let alone the fact that they didn't really scout out the gun too well as well. He was on like front wall trade near shutter. But he just didn't do enough in the end, right? And peeks deep as well, gets taken down by a snipe and some stickies as well. Bill going through. This is looking like what's her name is just becoming desperate right now.
But they actually managed to get the fourth. Scandal staying alive so much as well. They'll get the pick onto the sniper, but they're at a huge disadvantage. Bittler and Jack fighting each other in the lobby. Bittler, he'll get out alive. Oh, he nearly killed himself trying to sticky jump. Just instinctually there on 12 health. Not a great idea. He will live. As Superheroes, they managed to push out from that. It was a little hectic, but I think they'll be fine with it. Although, will they be able to cap? And, this is actually... It's not good. They've lost Jack. And with full Uber advantage for what's our name, and now demo advantage, the off-classes don't seem as scary. They're pushing this Uber through the left-hand side, right into where the heavy is. They might actually... they found the entire team this time. No useless Uber. Bill running to the point. He's actually going to decide to bait it a little longer. But Bittler and Raylan both falling. You've got both scouts alive with Scandal coming in for the offense. Just Jack alive. It looks like they will finally be able to claim their own round. A bit of a scrappy fight, but it will go in the favor of what's our name. And again, we have a fairly slow equalizer of 1-1. This time 13 minutes remaining on the second map of Logjam.
Yeah, what a weird ending to the round. Like the complete free 4-man sack wave, just getting enough people so Superheroes cannot push into just a pretty decent push into last, playing point for long enough to drop people onto it on the other side, but not actually staying long enough themselves to be easy targets. So well done to what's her name to finally make it even again.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, it did. Absolutely nothing on Raylan in the sky. Jack will fall though. So that is going to be favoring the side of what's our name. Bittler though does die as well. And with a soldier demoed down for each team, I think Superheroes, they've got to be favoring themselves here, knowing that their scouts do have the better game, the better focus fire in these situations, even with player advantage. The soldier, I mean, he can't really do a lot, but they will get spooked a bit by the player advantage. They will leave, keep their net alive and not have to use Uber, but I see a world where they fight that and win that bid.
Well, let's see. They're definitely wanting to fight the Superheroes right now. They're trying to get back in. It worked the first mate, but they're just in such a bad position. They will get forced forward as well. Such good focus fire. Susu overextending forward health, I suppose, but health still has, and they're not in too much trouble to have to use right now with a second player going down Scandalous here. This might be looking a lot worse right now. They will commit the Uber point while Raylan on the flank gets picked up as well. It's getting worse and worse here.
Yeah, and they're actually going to look at coming back in. Sky will die. Bill fighting Deadstar. Bill will actually clean up the... He will live through house as well, so while there is Uber advantage, albeit very slight for Munch, this is going to be an opening. Scandal hitting the surf, flying all the way through the sky. We'll get some damage onto Aston, but have to back up as his health is very low. I think Tal might have eaten a pipe during that. Pipe or a distant trap, so I'm not too sure, but either way, it's going to be mid, not really seesawing in favor of what's our name, because they kept the cap the entire time, pushing it back in before Superheroes could do anything. But Deadstar, he's on the flank. He's actually going back to mid to finish the cap. I love this. Not going for any sort of forced play. Munch having to back up into lobby, but with how far forward what's our name is, Scandal will jump back. Not in time though to stop the cap. And Deadstar, no one's died for what's our name. He's actually going to go through to second. They have the Uber. If they can get through, they don't have a demo though. Oh, if they had a demo up, they could have used on the demo, flew through, landed on point, tried to delay it, but no. Is this going to be seesawing? They're not waiting for him on mid.
I mean, at the very least, it did what it was supposed to. It just offered so much time to they can afford to fight second now, and they will. While the cap's happening again, what's her name? Just completely stuck in the same decision once again here, except having to use for this time. Deadstar will not get it this time around, but that's fine, because they just for sure keep second down, if not even get mid as well. They're down to 1, but maybe that's still good enough, especially with this much cap time here.
Yeah, 10 minutes left. It's still even, so I like the effort being put into the play. It's a little unfortunate that they couldn't pull some shenanigans with the second back cap, but with the amount of time left on mid, if What's Our Name decide to push into second, they do need to be really careful. They need to make sure they don't leave anything open because, I mean, Deadstar, he did it once before and he could very easily do it again with the same position, so they need to be careful. Though I think they'll just wait for their Uber to come up. 85% on them now. Munch just approaching 80 himself.
I mean, just in general, Superheroes has been very keen on backcaps. They got 2 round wins on one map each year, basically, as well as whatever this just was now for the extended fight we had. Going into the mid-second kind of play we've seen here just now, so they very much are not afraid to just take some risk going behind, try to sneak past people and just win the sneaky way, and if the straight-up fights aren't necessarily working, or at least try to circumvent it for a little bit here. And in this case, I mean, the backup didn't win them the round or anything, and certainly they didn't keep the point they capped with it, but they got back second pretty much exactly the way they wanted to out of this fight. So that's exactly the backups I like to see. Obviously, round winning ones immediately are nice and all, but Superheroes understands that sometimes it's just a means to an end here right now, and they get the space back. They would have probably just lost if their backup never started. So very much well aware of how to play these. That's the ones I like to see. Needs to get a little bit more though right now, be it a backup or not. Looks like that's just falling back to go to Sniper right now. So a little bit of a change of pace again. The stalemates that we see here obviously difficult to break otherwise. It's very long choke points to get through for a soldier. So the Sniper comes out to try to deal with this right now.
Yeah, and I don't mind it, especially because they can make the aggression if they want it, but if What's Our Name get bored and decide to push in, it's such a strong point for this. There's so many long angles you can take, as he said, and there's so many safe positions you can take, but he's not looking to go safe. He's actually looking to get aggressive through choke. No one showing themselves just yet, and no opportunities for shots, but Susu getting very far forward. Raylan going for the high bomb as well. Will hit 2 rockets, and Deadstar will surf away, and Scandal is going to try and make something happen, jumping up, actually shooting over the little rock wall there to get some damage onto him, but nothing will come of it, as I think, no, he's persisting and going through the close angle this time, but we'll find nothing, so he's just going to keep going in and out of this choke, wait until the space has been given to him, and it has. He'll whiff the shot onto Scandal, jumping forward, won't. Oh, he's so low and didn't get any heals at all, and they might lose Aston. He will crater. That's 2 down in a very short amount of time. Even Uber's What's Our Name, they're going to look to take this in. 7 minutes left, so if they can put themselves a round ahead now, with the pace that this game's been playing, it might be difficult for either team to come back at this point.
Yeah, step by step, getting closer to these 2 peaks this time, enough to just force back Superheroes. On last, that's not an option for Superheroes, and it didn't work for What's Our Name either last time, so we'll see how they're gonna approach this. For now, just an early sack, trying to get in before the setup is there, but the level 1 and the heavy already on the field don't allow Raylan and Scandalous to have too much fun. Rest of the team falling back. Aston already on the hunt though, trying to get a bomb in just straight into the scout, so will not go anywhere. So things will slow down a little bit, I would imagine here. Maybe Dip will sack, but they cannot afford to lose him too fast either. Doesn't matter though, they just want to take the risk. They don't want to be in last. Understandable enough, but Spomp's not looking to be doing enough here between everyone just shooting in midair.
Good rocket on the top. Didn't do as much damage as I thought it would. It must have just clipped a little bit on the ground. Didn't get a good splash, but that has brought the opportunity for a spy of Raylan. So they're going to look at making something happen here. Munch, 2 drops so far this game. 1 to the sniper and 1 to the spy. Although he gets bombed, he'll just deep cloak right in front of Munch to try it, but it won't happen. And actually, they'll lose Bill as well at the same time, so this might not have been what they were going for. 2 players down with the even Ubers. Bitler solo as well. He will get the kill, but to lose a demo in that situation, it's not great. Scandal, he's not even in a good position to get the kill here. Having to fight Aston, who's on the high ground, and now as a pack, so he's actually just made the room for his team in second, completely alone. But Bill and Susu, they're walking forward with talent. They're looking to take an Uber trade here. Jump forward from Raylan on the Munch. Will not hit the rockets yet. Scandal coming in will hit 1 rocket on the Munch, but by the time he's jumped in, Munch, you know, he's fairly safe. Ubers will get traded out, but Munch is caught on low ground. Susu will be able to take the remainder of his Uber, walk forward. He will do a lot of damage on the Dip, won't clean up the kill, and everyone will live on the side of Superheroes for now. And actually, the kills falling the other way. Bitler going down along with Bill a little bit earlier. And Jackie's gone so far forward, putting sticks in choke. And They're not going to have a demo to hold mid here. That was a really clean push out from Superheroes.
Yeah, Bill distracted him a little bit with this, going deep into lobby, trying to like threaten the back half, but people dealt with it quickly enough, and with that, they just had the opportunity to fight back quite nicely here, all the way into second now with this one. Bomb comes through by Scandalous, good damage, not barely quite enough to get Munch in the end. People still want to fight a little bit, but they're hesitant, and you can't be in the situation. You're either in or you're out, and they realize in time here, we don't want to really take this fight right now. It's even as is anyway. They're just going to sit on this nice little bit of 7% Uber both teams have here, and manage the scoreline for a little bit longer here. Neither team too happy this map to just really manage the scoreline too much, but at this point, just get the Uber and worry about getting something done afterwards.
Yeah, and both teams coming up on the Uber now. We don't have any off classes left, and we only have 4 minutes remaining, so I would favour Superheroes. They're in control, and they can look at taking the fight into second, and Jack's getting forward, looking to do some damage. Bill has had to fall back, but Raylan, he's sitting in that little offshoot of mid. He will get forced back by Sky. We're just waiting for a team to make a move. Neither one of them. Anyone can look to make a move here. Bill getting put very low. He's so close, and actually long-range stickies from Jack. Really nice job to kill that scout. And that might be what they're looking for. Dip, he does get hit by the trap and destroyed by Bitler. Sky, though, will get a kill onto Raylan. This might be what they're looking for. Players getting healthy. They're coming through choke. Munch very safe, and Scandal will fall. 2 soldiers down now, and the double scouts, they will take a lot of damage on the point. So much damage. Munch actually does have to use to make sure they don't get accidentally dropped. But this multi coming out from Munch, it's not great. Susu will die to the traps pre-planned by Jack. And they're getting crushed in lobby. Tal actually dies. This is a tragedy for what's our name. Jack, he's already aggressive in lobby, and this is going to end up being a huge Uber advantage. 3 minutes left. They might even...
Does it even matter?
Who knows?
Does it even matter how much of an ad assist? They're just going to go in here maybe, and... Ooh, no, never mind. Okay, the heavy and some spam is enough for them to be scared away. I was going to say, just as you were mentioning, the advantage is going to be that they're maybe just going in here. No, they respect the spawns coming up here, which has obviously its downsides. It's time for the heavy to be buffed up as well. Everyone, for that matter, now with Tal back alive. Suzuki has time to put the gun, which is obviously all unfortunate for the pace of the game, but with this Uber can deal with this, and it really has right now. Only 2.5 minutes. Around now could just win the match here.
Yeah, definitely. And if they're delayed a little, if they're slow on the entry on purpose or accidentally, it'll just put it to a point where it's just impossible for them to win. Oh no, Sky gets dropped right at the beginning of the Uber. They won't even get Raylan. Raylan, he's taking up so much of this Uber, will eventually die to Ast. The gun does fall, but the heavy's doing nothing. Jack has to fight Scandal, and it's not a fight that's going in his favor. Will die to Susu there with him. But oh my god, Ast, massive play, going to give his team a second chance, getting a very late kill onto Tal, and Munch and Deadstar. They are all the way gone. They may have to give up second, but with the Uber advantage, they'll net here one clean fight, whether it's on second, mid, or last, even if they get second for free, will net them the round. And at this point, I think Superheroes, they locked themselves in. They have locked themselves in at least for the golden cap, but they would love to just take it here. They won that first match. If they win this round, they win the grand final. 1:20 left. So we will know who takes it very soon, whether or not we're going to a golden cap, as they're coming to look to take second without having their Uber forced.
Yeah, that's going to be the important one to get in here without any problems right now. Looks like it as well. What's her name might have capped second, but they didn't really dedicate themselves to holding that point, which is probably the right idea. Just waste a little bit more time here and play it safe on last, because that's what it all comes down to. They don't have Uber yet, but they will any moment here if they can just live a little bit longer.
Oh, so many players on the point, it's so close, but the Pyro and the Heavy, the Uber coming out as well, not a chance for anyone to get onto the cap. But Jack, he's still alive, won't have enough damage. Deadstar, he's just going to walk in. Pyro and Heavy on the point, though. It's going to be so difficult for anything to go his way, as he will fall. 30 seconds left. It's not impossible, but if the cap comes out from what's our name, that'll essentially seal the deal. And even Tal, getting a little eager, going up onto the cap, not the position they want to be in, though. They'll go back to last and just sit. They're actually not going to get second. This will be a mad dash. Sky does die early. 15 seconds counting down. Player disadvantage, but there's no point to not go in here. Nothing to lose. They'll get some spam onto the Heavy. Aston, Munch coming in up top. The gun will die. It's going to create the entrance for them, but 4 seconds remaining. That will be a golden cap for our second map, 1-1 being the final score.
Well, it looks like the one thing we discussed at the beginning of the game was already correct. Superheroes didn't ban this for a good reason. They still, despite it not being their pick, looked fairly confident into it in the grand scheme of things, as much as What's Her Name did as well. So neither team looking to be shaping up too bad right now, and that's the last thing you want to see on your own map pick, obviously, after obviously losing out just about on the first map. So it's going to be a tough one here. The mid-fights, we only had 3 in total, fairly messy ones, for what it's worth, with a lot of just instant refights as well. Neither team wanting to give it up too much, or just slight mistakes for the other team. So this could really be anyone's game here.
Yeah, and the thing, it could be anyone's game. It could be over very quickly, or it could be really, really long. So I'm not too sure. Not too sure what we have, because over here in Australia, we don't have a time limit on the Golden Cap.
Yes.
It can go on and on and on, and I have seen and played my fair share of 25-30 minute Golden Caps. So let's hope that these teams will speed up the pace, but in a way that they both want to. We don't want it to be rushed for the sake of rushing it, because that's not good TF2. We want to.
Yeah, and I mean, with how the match has been going so far, or this map anyway, it's been like 15-minute rounds here, with 2 rounds being played in 30 minutes. So we could easily be in for a long one here. Obviously, just taking a quick break, getting his mental game sorted, and obviously also just discussing what you maybe need to change like immediately. There's not much time. You can't fix everything. You just need to really figure out what's the big thing to address here between the rounds right now, and deal on that immediately. Big one being the mid fight. You don't have much data to go off, but it needs to be valuable.
Now, you see, I'm going to make a bold prediction here. I'm going to say that the team that loses mid wins the round. And the reason I say that is because that's the way it went in the live game. Of the 3 rounds that were played, first mid went in favor of What's Our Name. First round went to Superheroes. Second round, mid went to Superheroes. Round went to What's Our Name. And although that third and final round didn't end up being won by anyone, if you'd given it a few minutes, I think Superheroes probably would have been able to close it out eventually. So the fact that What's Our Name won that mid and we're not looking in a good position for most of that round, it makes me skeptical for whether or not winning mids on Logjam is a good idea in this game, at least, as we do have the ready up for our Golden Cap. Superheroes are looking to take the grand final here against What's Our Name. Let's see what's happening. Both demos trading stickies onto each other, both getting quite low. He's holding his ground a bit more than Jack. They'll both get healed up now, arrows from their respective medics, as Aston gets very aggressive. He won't die just yet, but he's not in position to get healed. Roamers will trade with each other as Scandal will get shut down. Both soldiers down on either team, but the scouts on What's Our Name, they're so low. They've just got to get healed. Bill, Bitler, both fall. Oh no, actually Bitler, he's out by the skin of his teeth, getting healed by Tal. So they're out of there. They're alive. And they are in a good position to hold second here. This player disadvantage, it might tempt Superheroes. They're walking in.
Yeah, they're taking their chances here all the way in already through the bridge, getting a lot of damage for Force of the Tail with Munch nowhere to be found just yet. People already going weak as well. Raylan goes down on the recommit through the house area, and that might just be enough. Susu going down as well, and Tail gets stuck on the doors. Well, it's all falling apart by the second here. Superheroes just need to clean this one up right now. Bomb comes through. Doesn't do enough. Munch will live, was weak, but will not fall to the demo man there, and Superheroes have this on the silver platter right now.
Yeah, definitely, and they can poke last. They probably shouldn't just yet, but they're actually they got to turn. They got to turn Pyro and a Heavy up here. You don't have Uber or Scouts, so they'll make the respectable play and look to play this small Uber advantage. Really, it's 15%. It's not even pushable.
It's not easily pushable at the very least. I mean, maybe they take their chances in the Golden Cap. There's only 2 minds that either do everything in the desperate attempt to win, or don't risk anything at all in a desperate attempt not to lose. And we'll see which mindset they're going to be on right now here with how the pace of the game was. It could really be anything. Dealing with the heavy gun in that shorter time frame is going to be really tough, though, if they choose to do this.
They're gone through main. We haven't seen this push all game from either team. Yeah, they're going to go straight through main. Jack will go one side to deal with the gun. and Sky will go the other side to deal with the Heavy. The Heavy does get used, but the health on the side of what's our name so poor right now. 4 players alive for either team. Uber's fading for both of them. And the recommit, we may see it come in here. Aston, he's so aggressive. Actually gets the kill onto Tal Bitler as well. Nedstar cleans both of those up. With the Heavy and the Soldier both solo on the point. One player coming up, and Raylan, he's just got to buy time. We have to see a miracle come out here from Susu, and he looks like he might make it happen. Deadstar, 2 well-placed shots from Susu will make it happen. He's got Bill alive here as well. 1 melee kill. Do not see the melee kills make a round get lost again. It will not be... As of yet, Dip getting onto the point. Oh no, Sky, he's here. Tal going down, maybe again. Oh, so close. Oh boy, so close that round was, but what's our name? They're holding on so close. Heavy is on the point. They're going to try and push out and claim second.
I don't want to say this is all on Jack here, but once again, like with Snakewater, he was just not willing to reload sticks there, just walked to the point with the paint train. And this time, missing twice, going down to the scout, and if that was times when shooting a single sticky, that might have been the game already. So, one bad decision costing them dearly there, DMing their way out of a complete disaster by killing Tal at some point, but still, with Munch dying so much later in all of this, with the fight just taking forever, they will end up still sitting here with severe disadvantage right now.
Yeah, definitely. I think what's their name? This is their opportunity. They're pushing through house. They want to get aggressive. It's a hard spot for Dip to try and get the force on, and he will get found early. He has to back, and neither soldiers are in a position to go for the sack here, so they will get mid for free, but it will be enough time for Munch to come up on his Uber, sitting on second. They're going to look to take a trade at choke here, I imagine, or at least not let what's our name in.
Yeah, we'll see how this will go down. With the even Uber's gonna be probably not too keen on anyone's end here right now to make much happen other than sacks. Maybe switch to sniper. We've seen it before. Maybe it's gonna come out again. For now, it gives both teams a little bit of a breather after what just went down here to just sit here and contemplate how they want to actually approach this and not just have to go all in at all times. It's not gonna be the worst case scenario here, but obviously you want to get something going fairly shortly, even without the time limit right now. At the very least, there's a round limit. Still daunting you as well, which is obviously not really in what's our name's favor, seeing as they already have and don't want to lose it for no reason. So they're not immediately pressured to do something, but sooner or later that thought will have to cross their minds here that they are on both sides for that matter still very much in the pressure to make a move.
Yeah, and it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Neither team wants to make the mistake. Superheroes, I see. It's obviously, you know, really tough to try and make the right call on what's your name here. What's our name? What's our name is what's their name is. But it's really tough for them to make the right call here. They're deciding for the safer play of the sniper, because if they make the wrong call here and take a terrible fight and they lose the round, it's game for them. But at the same time, there's an equal amount of pressure, I would say, on superheroes, because they've been in a pretty good position all this map. I would say going into this game, they're probably the favorites. They've had the upper hand in the games that they've played against what's our name earlier in the season and earlier in playoffs. And, you know, they don't want to make it go to a third because, I mean, you know, it's their third pick. Sure, they picked it. But with 2 picks going their way, definitely a good way to cement themselves in this map. And they won't lose any picks themselves. As we do have Aston coming in for the bomb. Nice surf from Tal, though, will keep the Uber up. Actually, Aston, he will fall to Raylan, so nice push into mid there. Very non-committal. Neither Uber's getting used, just soldiers trading deaths, but yeah, I know superheroes, it's got to be tough for them as well because they don't want to make it go to a third, you know? They can lose on a map like this, and even, you know, Process, no, they played Snakewater. Process is last, but Snakewater, which was their pick, it was still a 3-2. Even though they lost the round in dead time, it could have been anyone's game at that point, so I don't know, there's a lot of pressure on both teams because the third map, from what I've seen so far, is not a lock for anyone. Neither team is just outright better right now.
Yeah, and like committing this much time to a golden cap already, this is going to be frustrating when you lose it to. Just so much more time spent trying to win this one map and still not getting it in the end. It's got to be really frustrating if this takes any longer here, so maybe that's just going to create some short fuse on somebody here. For now, that's the picking up the sniper rifle, has worked on Snake, is still working here. gets one kill onto Raylan, opens things up a little bit here. People obviously trying to adjust positioning on this one. Maybe Superheroes can still abuse it in time though.
Yeah, definitely Deadstar getting very aggressive. His team has fallen out of choke though, so he needs to be a little bit careful here. But the spy has come up. Yeah, the spy up on Susu does get found though, so trading for the Aston frag. Not too bad, but not what they were looking for. They much rather would have just gotten the spy kill and not lost anyone, but it's just going to make room for the Deadstar sniper. But he's now having a lot of success in choke. He's going to rotate with actually the entire team into house to try and get something here, but he's again been spotted very early getting heals, and yeah, we're just a lot more sniper sightline dodging here as we have another sniper coming up. Susu taking a shot at it this time, Bill stepping down.
Alright, we will certainly be staying in this pace of the game for a little bit longer here. Both teams had the scary moments. They don't want to risk too much anymore. So it's all just coming down to who can play the sniper better. For now it was Superheroes, but at the moment it doesn't even matter because Jack just always a bit through the choke. Will get popped up and taken down by Raylan with some nice shots there. Ooh. They're close calls, but none of them are connecting.
My heart. He does live, and it looks like they're just going to use the... Oh, actually, they get the sniper. And Aston maybe gunning for a death here. He gets the pack and show. Oh, nice shot ringing out from Susu, though. But they can't clean up off him. He's on 16 health. Wait, did he just fall and kill himself? Come on, buddy. That is a bit of a lull. I'll drop it in the chat, no shame. But the fight coming in here... What's our name? We're in a really good spot here. Kills just falling non-stop for Superheroes, and they aren't using their Uber. So I suppose that's a win for them if they're not using their Uber in this situation. But, oh, Raylan, he's in such a good spot. No, again.
No.
Balls of steel on Munch here, still holding it after the countless situations where he may have been forced, so... Oh boy, what's our name? It's their chance to try and push it through. They have the sniper still up, so what can he do? He needs to be the difference maker here. And, he'll whiff a close range shot and go down immediately as I say it. Sorry, Susu, I'll take that one. I'll take the blame for that from you as, yeah, what's our name? Oh, they've actually been met with some aggression here. Aston far forward, so is Jack, but Raylan, he'll put a stop to it, dealing some damage to Aston, and Superheroes, they'll back out of lobby.
Alright, once again, a little bit of a breather here. Sniper has been sworn off for now on what's our name. Wanna just play this traditional and see if that works. Can take the time as well. He obviously Superheroes without anything going their way right now. Difficult to actually make a player out of last that succeeds as well. That's how they lost their round on Snakewater as well. They want to get out here, but can't get antsy. Once again, still trying to get into lobby. Working for Rain and Scandal. No. Down in the backlines though.
No. No.
And that's how they lose the round once again.
They just walked lower. They left one player on last. Scandal Bill took the 2v1 and won it. And we are pushed to process. That's a disappointing way to lose a golden cap. Like it's a disappointing way to lose a round, but there's always other rounds. You don't get a second shot at golden cap. And that's just, they'll be kicking themselves. They were in control for so long, even for I'd say the first half of the golden cap, they were in control. And then it was just thrown away. Okay, we have some
that's
logs
10
up.
minutes they're never gonna get back as well, which is gonna feel really frustrating.
And oh boy, everyone's suffering so much more from the stalemates on this map than Snakewater, as we have the just the extra 10 minutes of stalemating and the golden cap at the end.
We have two people reaching 200 DPM. This time it's one. It's still Jack. Bittler not quite getting there. Once again, this map had its explosive moments, but still a lot of stalemates sprinkled in between to just stretch the game out nice and to these 40 minutes we spent here. So it took its time. It shows in the numbers as well, but ultimately, I mean, he struck when it mattered here on the side of what's our name.
Yeah, I mean, even just taking a look at the logs, the main thing that stands out for me is just the impact that Deadstar had. Like, the amount of times I was seeing him in these fights, like, looking at the game, you go, wow, he has a lot of impacts in fights. He's getting kills late, he's combining with his other scout to get these key picks, and his positioning was actually pretty damn good in a lot of those rounds. I believe it was Deadstar. Yeah, Deadstar was actually the one who won the first round through the back cap. So really good positioning from an all game. And 28 kills to 12 deaths to boot. I mean, 2.3 KD. In terms of KD, miles ahead from anyone else. The next closest being 1.5, shared by a few players. So he just had such a high impact, a low amount of deaths for a DM class. And if he can keep playing like that, and other players... Like, if basically, I think if superheroes keep playing that game with the players that are popping off, continuing to pop off on process, I think it'll be their map.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. The scout matchups here seems to have been interesting anyway. Bill and Susu, for what's her name, like had their moments here and there, but both Deadstar and Sky seem to just be more consistent. Deadstar obviously being like the big standout here with the performance, obviously, but Sky just being the beam scout, just like it is doing his job really well. It's like not to reach too far for comparisons here, but like the 7 kind of playstyle where they have like the one aggro scout on the flank just doing what they like. In this case, Deadstar clearly, and Sky just being like the silent combo scout, just sitting there doing his job. Maybe not standing out so much, but like if nothing gets past you, then that's all you need to do. And meanwhile, Bill and Susu try to just outdo each other, but sometimes just not getting much done in between those moments where they are looking really good, and it just leaves these openings for the other side to abuse really nicely.
Yeah, definitely. And on a map like Process, I mean, here's the thing: when there's Process being played, there's 2 things that always come to mind. The first one is insane soldier jumps, right? It's one of the best maps to jump on, and honestly, one of the easiest maps to jump on. It's so open. There's so many walls that you can jump off of. Ramps that you can slide off of. It's a jumping playground of a map. The second thing that comes to mind is these little insects known as scouts buzzing around a medic and just 3-shotting any soldier that jumps through, ruining all the fun. It can get pretty brutal when you just have, maybe a stalemate on second, and you've just got soldier after soldier bombing into scouts again and again and again, and you just get nowhere because of it. But I know the way that this has been going, I think these teams, they might have a bit more of an explosive game this time. A map that both of them will undoubtedly know more than Logjam, and I'd say maybe even more than Snakewater. Process it's a really popular pug map. Definitely, for the most part, the opener for most pugs, at least when I was actively pugging. So I think these players, they'll have a very good idea on how to play the map, and they'll know how to play off of each other and off of these sacks, and we might see a very big difference in pace from the earlier maps here.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it is like the most popular map, I believe, just in general. I think it goes like this, and then Snake Gully, and then everything else, basically. So it coming down to a decider on some map like Process is not actually surprising at all if you really think about it. And the best way to close it out is, well, a map that everyone should be largely familiar with in the grand scheme of things here to decide this all will be an interesting one for sure. Lots of areas for each class to have a good impact will make it interesting as well. So we'll see, I suppose. Obviously, with how the mid-fights went just now, I'm expecting a little bit of the same hits. Still a good bit smaller overall. So it's going to be pacing-wise, I think, somewhere between the last 2 maps here, which is to say we will probably have our fair share of stalemates here with how these teams played, especially now being in map 3, with the golden cap already slowing down quite a bit. The map 3 won't be much difference from that.
Now, I will mention very quickly, these teams did actually play against each other on Process. Last week 2 weeks ago in the Upper Page Playoffs game. And that game ended up being a 4-1 to Superheroes in the full 30 minutes. So we are live on our 3rd map of Process. Superheroes looking to claim the victory after failing to do so in the Golden Cap. What's Our Name looking to keep the momentum they've gained from the Golden Cap. We have both demos trading stickies on mid. Bitler, he's actually not able to get his own pack. The arrow will come out onto him, and we are going to see some aggression here. Both soldiers taking their own right side for What's Our Name, but a high bomb in from Aston will destroy Bitler. First kill of the mid, but the return has gone on to Munch from the double soldier combo of What's Our Name. And it's a little bit of desperation here going in for Tal, but they just can't seem to make it happen. Sky has actually managed to find it. So close.
Yeah, once again, just about here. Once again, like Snakewater, I mentioned it already. These soldier bombs are looking really, really strong for both teams. And in this case, what's her name, pulling ahead a little bit, but not by enough. Once again, too many people living after the mat goes down to just have the attempts for the sag come through. And even if it just barely worked, the fact of the matter is it was allowed to happen, and that's going to be really costly. Tal not having a lot of disadvantage here, but they're not going to keep the second point. And if they're losing any more here, they might not even cap mid at this point.
Yeah, and Scandal, very low, will meet up with his medic and get healed up, but they're going to be jumping through here. One scout down on a map-like process when holding bits. It honestly can be enough to push off of Jack. He's doing so much on his own. Bitler's so low. Aston will jump through and trade the frag, but you've got aggression coming through. Tal, so much damage done by Dip, will have to pull out. Bill is caught behind, but we're even players here, and the spawns are in favor of what's our name, so we're going to see superheroes. They will back out, and Bill sees this happening. Knows the sticks are cleared by Jack, so he's making room for his team, and he's keeping this room. I like the fact that he stayed in sewer as long as he had. He's had to pull out now because for some reason I wasn't quite watching them, but the rest of his team was a little slow to catch up, so they'll have to give up the room that they took in second. It's going to let superheroes kind of re-establish themselves here, but I don't know. We're seeing some decent pace here. Both teams wanting to make plays, but they're falling victim to the classic process of just these, like I said, insects buzzing around, denying all the fun.
Yeah, that's going to be keeping the pace as it is as well. No one's really going anywhere just yet, so even the bombs in this stalemate that are trying to come through, like you said, will have a tough time. Maybe we'll just see the snipers again and people just taking the easy way out of this one, I suppose. Had some decent results, we'll see. For now, Scandal's trying to get the bomb in, but just falls short a bit too early there. Not enough momentum forward, instead just goes down too much and will go down quickly. Aston with the immediate counter-sack as well for that, but I didn't even see that happen, but he was just straight on there the moment Scandalous was in as well, maybe hoping to catch them unaware. Didn't work out either.
This will be the opportunity where we see off class. We could see, okay, I think we're going to see Bill. He wasn't the one who died, but he's going back to catch the door being opened by Scandal. He will come up on the sniper. So, again, Bill, the second time being the first one to make them move on to the off classes, is actually Death Star. They've done the same thing. Aston, though, he's on spy. He's checking for this. They're going to know. So I really like this. They've gone through, used their spawner to check, and they'll know what's coming, so they won't know from where. Bill, he's taking aggression through sewer with Raylan and Munch. He spots it just in time before he walked in that sight line. Really good reactions from them there, and they know for sure that the sniper's up now. No fake plays, but they know where he is, and that's very important. Especially just for the mind game of Bill. He knows he, might be caught out if he goes too aggressive. Oh, good shot on the sky. They'll cancel any aggression out onto him.
Well, but that's not good enough, because they still have the play up, and that's good enough for the sack to come through, for them to keep peeking, and for people to really do anything about it at the moment. Eva hasn't finally has to help to deal with the sniper here as they try to peek deep. Bill will go down. That's going to be stopping them. Like, just 150 headshots. These quick scopes are not going to really do enough these days. You need to actually charge your shots and catch them while they have the full buff and still kill them through that somehow.
Yeah, definitely. And with the two-player disadvantage, what's our name? They're really put into a rough spot on mid here. Raylan rolled out, but he's forced out immediately. Trapped by Bitler. Will clean up Ass. That's going to level things out a bit. But we've actually got the player advantage going in favor of what's our name now. That's going to cause superheroes to back out. They won't lose anyone else, but they're going to have to deal with the aggression through the choke. Although, as I say that, Jack, he's positioned himself nice and aggressively, denied any aggression come out. Good heads-up play from him there to make sure his team doesn't get punished further for the player disadvantage they had.
Alright, so far so good. Things remaining in the even-over situation at the very least. So, 5 minutes in, not a lot of action. As I say, this Raylan goes through for bomb, but that's really all that's happened here. The sniper's now off the field as well, so not any threat of that. Back to the good old days of the stalemate where we just sag again until finally something sticks. Trying to walk actually a lot of people forward from PC. Aston tries to follow through with some more attempts himself as the rest of his team fell back already, but they're just not getting in at all. Good damage, but someone needs to actually act off that or it won't matter.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, Scandal, he's in a bit of a tough spot. Realistically, he needs to be the one to jump through, but he's also the soldier watching IT. And if he goes in for the bomb, you might just have someone like Aston slip through. Although speaking of slipping through, we have a scout. Susu managed to get all the way to last. Deadstar is going to actually pick up the scattergun, but in the meantime, we've got Scandal jump in and actually trade for Jack. So demo disadvantage for superheroes, but a 2-player disadvantage for what's our name. And with that evening out, they might actually use this opportunity to push down a scout. Demo's not in the fight. You're going to see Raylan jumping in. He will find one nice rocket on the munch and back up for an arrow, which he will get a little bit delayed, but they need to keep fighting this. Down a scout, if committed through the choke, Dip will actually die as well as Scandal. The Uber has been forced out on munch. He doesn't have anyone to really keep it on. Aston taking most of the Uber, and the rest of it's going to be used to leave through door 1 on Sky. The double scouts ending in door 1. Susu dying as well. It's a little bit of a kind of really sloppy fight here.
Well, I guess them where they want to be at the very least for the blue team here. What's their name? Taking all the space they can take from this as much as possible. Not enough to really do much more though, unfortunately. Just having to fall short and actually getting to last with this as much as just went down there. It's not gonna get them all the way in here. So stalemate once again. Both teams immediately back on the sniper rifles. Just trying to hold off any like funny attempts to get through quickly. And I mean, for good reason, I suppose, as well. If there was any chance to go through, it's before the guns are up for what's our name, so we'll have a sniper up just to deal with that in the meantime. However, also not really keen to put up much more for defense themselves, some superheroes. So, as we've seen before, they don't want to be stuck on Lars, and as much as that's understandable, it has lost them 2 very crucial rounds this match so far, so they've got to be careful about this.
Yeah, they will get the pick onto Susu and Lobby, and Scandal as well, so they'll both fall. You'll have players falling back to get heals, get that resup cabinet, and with 2 down, you've surely got to be thinking on what's our name here. Maybe have Raylan go for the sack. He will bomb around door 1, he's been seen, but he can't be sticking around too long, although I say that superheroes, they're not even pushing out. They don't want to. They're poking players out 1 and 2, but at the end of the day, they're just going to end up falling back and staying on their own last. 8 minutes down so far, and I mean, what's our name? They spent a little bit of time holding their last and second, but I feel like they've been the more dominant team this entire time. I don't know, they felt more in control.
Yeah, they had a lot more control, I think, as well, in the stalemate right now. They're looking a bit more comfortable as well. Superheroes, the most they do is just walk people forward PC, that's the way of it, and it's the most they've really tried so far. Spies on the field as well now, so what's our name is just trying to somehow sneak past them and catch them unaware. Still have to be careful, sniper up, and you don't want to just do nothing here as well. And they're getting actually forced in the meantime. This is not what they want. Susu with the stab, so in the meantime, this is such a weird position to be in right now. They will just try to get in.
Scandal's just on point. There's only a sniper. Scandal can just 1v1 the sniper, knock him into the sky and claim the first round. Oh my god, what a way to do it. Not the picks I thought Susu would be going for or get, but he gets 2 kills before Munch even uses Uber. What a way to claim the first round 9 minutes in.
They just had to do something that they could force while they're trying to set up the play, so Susu just went for whatever they can for the rest of the team to get the force in, and the fact that the soldier just gets on capture while no one's alive anymore to block it or close at all just was the icing on the cake here.
Definitely. We've got very deep aggression coming in for the soldiers of superheroes, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be Deadstar, Jack, and Sky combining for every single kill. Aston finally getting one in for the soldiers, the last kill going, and that is a total wipe, a clean wipe. As superheroes really changing the pace here, gonna look to get a quick one in after a bit of a poor showing from them. And they're going to have full Uber. They can push this whenever they want. They're both soldiers spamming the gun from 2. They're going to... Where are they going to take this? I imagine lobby. That's the safe push. Yeah, they'll take it through lobby.
Well, this has to work right now if they don't want to be stuck in this slower-paced game any longer here. Gun doesn't even get built in the first place. Players on point, forcing people to commit out. Pyro delaying for a little bit there, but still only can do so much on the map this big, so it really comes down to everyone else. Heavy doing a lot of work already, but it doesn't seem to be enough. Raylan falling in with that. The point is wide open for the taking here for superheroes.
And yeah, superheroes, they changed that pace up. They got through. And very quick round for them. Now, do they want to go through and look to roll this off of that momentum? I would definitely say like that's a quick enough round. Probably the fastest round all game by a good amount. And that's a way to build momentum. Got Dip looking to go forward for the aggressive bomb again. Aston biffs his jump a little bit, will end up landing on the height. But, oh, Dip, very good bomb through. Doesn't get the second rocket onto Tal, so they will stay alive. Both medics up right now and getting heals up. Headstar, he will have to fall back into sewer to get a pack, as the rest of his team will back up onto second. Both soldiers down. There's just not a lot they can do, as Raylan gets skyboxed by the trap from Jack. It's, I brought it up as a meme earlier, but man, he's really living up to his old nickname, the Sticky Trap Jack, as, he's just, yeah, he's copping a bit of flack for it in the chat. He will go forward and die to Susu. Looking to maybe trade Ubers at choke here, but Munch and Co, they're backing out without a demo. They don't want to take this fight to mid.
Alright, well, I mean, without a demo, like you said, it's going to be difficult to hold, and Hester falling back. Still very much doable to actually just push for what's her name as well. They're just going to keep this one up. Actually, will use Blue for this as well. Take the exchange here. Lose Raylan in the process, so it's going to be a little bit awkward as the flanks also being under some heavy fire here. Scout just what gets out. Scandal is barely living the 1v1 as well. And with that, they might just keep it good. Stickies by Jackson with another pipe to follow through. Will also die, but did the damage that was needed to maybe just keep their team in this.
Munch! He's 1v1ing Bill in door 1. He got once, but he's gonna maintain a big enough distance, will Bill, to not get sword again. They don't have the players up. Bill will try for something on Deadstar. Deadstar, he will get the kill onto Bill, will fall, but, oh, nice rocket from Dip. Destroying Susu in the sky above the point. So, let's take a look-see here. What are we going to have happen? It looks like superheroes, they are going to manage to push out and edge this cap ever so slowly, but he's had to get off of it. Sky can't stay on it for much longer, so it's gonna, yeah, kind of keep the flow of the game in favor of what's our name. As we're nearing the halfway point of the time, they have themselves a nice little Uber ad. Munch not building too well, so they're going to end up with a nice, it's about 30% ad, honestly. They're coming through. We're going to take it pretty quickly through lobby. As we're going to see Bitley, he's jumping the Uber through, but he's going to get skyboxed initially by the gun. It will fall, but there is a, oh, never mind, I've mistaken myself. There's not a heavy, but you know what? There is a lot of kills falling on the side of superheroes. All of them down, but Munch will get the Uber in time. Sky, you can't waste time hitting 3 damage shots on the Bitler, knocking him away from the point. It's just not going to work. You got to buy 3 seconds for your spawners, and against 4 players, it's going to be a bit tough. We're going to see a second round fall for the favor of what's our name. They're continuing through this very nicely, and again, just kind of responding to the very quick round set up by superheroes before. Hopefully, we see a little bit of back and forth here.
Yeah, Superheroes just needs another good mid-fight. They got one before to just clean up a quick round. They really desperately need another one, so they need to come out swinging for this fight here. And with Bitler weak already, that's heads quite a bit. Aston in the sky before catches him eventually. He had to go all the way in though. Can the rest of the team clean up from this?
Oh, and Deadstar falls. Soldier demo, actually both soldiers in the demo down for what's our name now. Dip will fall. Munchie's in a very precarious spot here, separated from Jack. It's tough here. He doesn't want to kill bind just in case, because Jack, he puts Bill very low. Susu will get aggressive. Actually, he might go for the kill here. And given if he's counting the ammo on Jack, he'll know that he's fairly low. He'll get the kill for it. He will lose his own life, though. And this might put Bill into a sticky spot. Scout Soldier is coming through from IT. Fast Bomb will deny the cap. If he will die, Aston will, and the Bitler will finish off that cap a bit late. He might die to Deadstar. Deadstar's just juking all of these rockets. Surfs up to the roof. He's really slippery here. He's kind of, yeah, he's gonna die. He knows it, but he definitely bought enough time. And Munch, actually healing really well, has gotten a nice 30% advantage, although both meds did end up dying at pretty much the same time, so they'll be happy with that.
Well, I mean, Matt might die again. Raylan in with the bomb in deep. 1 hit. Can any more? Scandalous still has the buff. No one's really getting too much damage to him. He lives for so long. These rockets would eventually be good enough. I don't know how he kept the buff until the very end there, but somehow Scandalous just didn't die in that attempt at all. They lose Raylan in the meantime, but 2 down for the medic and a bonus pick. Dip this week as well. Probably can't really commit to force too much as well. So that just worked out the best way it could have been on the bomb there.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, Munch falling. Bad time for it as the Uber is just about to come up on the side of Tau. and their team bringing it through. It looks like they might try for a wide sewer play. Yeah, they're bringing Med Soldier and Demo, as well as the Scout, through the far side of sewer. Although there isn't much for them to be dodging. Aston's bombs in will eventually fall, getting no damage on the tower. As we're walking forward, Dead Star spamming through lower, Jack out, door 2. And this should be enough time for Munch to get his Uber sitting in heaven, very safe on 85% himself. So we might say a little bit of a stalemate here as the teams try and figure out what they need to do. Because what's our name? I mean, if this map's been any indication, 1 round advantage has not been enough. You need to get at least 2, and I mean, to be comfortable, especially in a map like Pro, 3. Because these mids can fall very quickly if you get rolling.
At the very least, though, they can take their time now, actually get this round set up here, while superheroes have consistently just fallen short, trying to desperately get out of last points on both maps now. So they're gonna be hard for us to get something. At the same time, though, they need to start actually just figuring out how to approach this a little bit better here, and not just rush things forward. With the sniper, that might be a plan, just get some picks going slowly but surely, maybe take it slow that way. Need to put Deadstar in a better position for it, first of all, though.
Yeah, definitely. Do have Aston going in and just getting floated by both scouts on the point. Kinda gross, but at the same time, you know. It's he's doing the job he needs to do. Tal sitting in the gold spot here. Very difficult to get killed in this position. You don't have there's no sightline onto you from any point, from any door rather. I believe you may be able to just get a peek in from door 2 if the sniper comes out too, but there are stickies all over it, so it would be a tough shot to hit with the amount of time you'd have before Bitler bets his stickies. But it doesn't even matter, because the sniper is no more. Deadstar has swapped off back to Scout. And with Scandal going down, they're looking like they want to get a little aggressive here. Munch coming forward with his Demo on door 2. Aston jumping through the clear the sticks. They'll know nothing's there, at least above the door. As, man, what a time for a pause.
That is going to be suspending us for a little bit here, but Aston's not going to get the medic here at the very least. He's going behind, which could still be good if he somehow gets past Scandalous, maybe spawn camps him as well, if he wins the 1v1. Mostly is the non-factor for the fight, I would imagine. I don't think he wants to say on this too much, unless he just jumps back for the force attempt, which I don't think is the smartest move to make at this point. The rest of the combo is largely not committed. Munch took some damage, falls back already, so no one's really going to come in with this too much. The scouts are still close, but probably just to make sure that no one bombs through for the medic at this point, and this is all on Aston, who's just not in a great position at all.
The only thing is that, look at how many players are looking at Aston here. You've got Susu, Bill, and Raylan all looking at Aston. We do have the unpause coming through. Raylan turns immediately, and the players that tried to enter from superheroes are falling. Deadstar almost loses his life for it. Bill going very far in. But with the players down, they may look to take advantage of this 2-player advantage with even Ubers. Tao hasn't had to use yet. Munch will make the first move. Tao will use a little bit later, but Tao's Uber is going to end up being a solo onto Susu. So they're going to be liking this a lot better. The Uber fading from Munch now, but kills going the way of superheroes. Deadstar being the first to fall for his side. As it looks like they might be able to kill Scandal in the exit. Yeah, they will clean up Scandal in the exit. So only 3 alive. They've got to get all the way out of choke. And superheroes will go through and end up capping second. So that's a really nice push out from them.
Yeah, that's gonna be really, really fortunate with how that went down. That is very easy to just fall apart, a lot worse than anything that just happened here. They're gonna take it, and they need to as well. They have still a decent bit of time left here, but I mean, you have to have some really clean conversions, actually, not these sketchy fights all around, to really get this going right now. Because as much as they got second now, the situation didn't change much. Sure, they have some anti, but not a lot. And how aware are they of the fact that there was bad building? It seems a little bit, at least, trying to get Aston, get Susu as well, actually. So this is a start, and Kyle actually just lose both of them by dip. It looks like superheroes might actually just get away with this.
Yeah, Bitler dying in choke as well. I know where Scandal is. Looks like Aston. Oh, Aston will actually get the kill in sewer there. So really good for Bill. Is on to Munch. Munch doesn't have... Never mind, he does have a Zuba. Been baited by the HUD. Wonderful pause. Thank you for ruining my HUD. But the force will come out regardless. So Ubers will be practically even 10% in it. Not pushable on a map like Process where you can just kite so easily. But with the player advantage being on the side of superheroes, What's Our Name has decided to back out of second some light spamming coming in, but they shouldn't be able to fight this realistically, and Susu will lose his life for it, peeking through door 1. As we have another pause. Okay, we apparently have some server lag coming in this time. I believe that that last pause was just due to some mic problems from the players, but this time we are pinging out of control, so we'll let them sort that out. And yeah, I'm curious to see what happens here. The Uber advantage has actually ended up going a little more in favor of what's our name. So it's 20% as of the time of the pause, and they are building it pretty well, making sure that if they're not healing players that are not already full buff, that Bill is hitting himself with the 3-rune blade. So it
like
yeah.
one way or another, though, what you said earlier was already correct. Just managing the that 1 point lead is already looking sketchy for what's our name. They had it like a few minutes ago, still under control, but slowly but surely, Superheroes is working their way back here, and that's the last thing you want to see right now. If you just could get away with this like small lead, it's just spiraling out of control bit by bit. They don't have advantage here anymore on Superheroes to keep this going, but stuck on last with only 20 ad as well. And what's our name? Getting out of this one is going to require a miracle even bigger than whatever Superheroes managed to get out of last with themselves.
Yeah, and I almost want what's our name to try and push out. The thing is, they surely have no way to know if they have this ad or not. Right, like there's no way realistically that they can go through and see, okay, we have ad, we know we have ad, we can push this and try and, kill Munch and take advantage of maybe some aggressive positioning that Superheroes might play because they think it's even Ubers. But at the same time, if they try and do that, if they, just kind of, if they decide, screw it, let's, push even Ubers, they find themselves in the Uber ad fight, I would hate it if they were to do that. I would hate it if they weren't to just stalemate on last tier. Honestly, run down the clock. I don't mind it too much. Bring it to another... Actually, no, never mind, it's not even golden cap. Maybe just hold it out. Like, if they stay ahead and don't lose rounds... I forgot that they got that second round. They're in the lead right now, so... The way this game has been played out, as we've mentioned, 1 round lead, it's not enough, but with the amount of time that's left, and the way that both teams have been playing... Superheroes, they haven't been doing well on their last pushes. You just need to win the last hold as what's our name. Just make sure no one leaks in the background.
Yeah, exactly. So. And I'm gonna see how they want to approach this, like you said, or like more aggressive. I would certainly also agree that just using this time they have here to their advantage of taking it slow probably is the more responsible choice to make, but you never know with these teams, right? We're not like at the highest level either, so mistakes will happen, have already, for that matter. It's going to be interesting to see how they want to approach this. We've seen Superheroes just always be really keen to get out. Granted, in most of the situations they were in, except I think a single one, they were always on the losing end, so it made a fair amount of sense for them to approach it that way. What's our name, like you said, as well, though, very much not in that position at all. They still have a decent amount of time to work with here, which... is obviously a bit daunting if you just want to stall, but I don't see why they would want to, but how would we know what's really going on in their heads right now?
Yeah, you can't know it all, but yeah, this it's going to be interesting. So oh, okay, it's looking like. So it's not just one player that's having some ping issues. It actually looks like everyone in the server's having some problems. So
presumably it's an issue with the server, I would imagine. Then.
Yeah, or the
which is very awkward.
Yeah, or the wonderful Australian routing that can sometimes kick itself into gear at around this time. So odds are server that's normally the way it is, but man, I've certainly had some games ruined by sharks biting the underwater cables and Telstra just shutting down half of their exchanges. That's really cool.
I hate those damn sharks, dude.
Yeah,
they get me every day as well.
Yeah, man. It was great. That actually happened. I don't know if it was sharks that ate the cable, but the Singapore-Perth cable got severed. So all of the Southeast Asian players that were playing in ozfort, even with VPNs, they were still getting like 150 plus ping. Practically couldn't play. They fixed it. It was working for about a few months, and then it broke again. And there was seriously like a good 9-month period where anyone in Southeast Asia just couldn't play an ozfort and vice versa. So,
meanwhile, in Europe, we have people complaining when they get 60 ping. So, you know, the differences in the world sometimes.
Definitely. So, still waiting for everything to go through. So it's looking like we may be nearing the end of the pause. Hopefully servers sorted itself out.
I mean, there's just two options, right? Either try to find a server that doesn't have issues right now, which would be awkward as hell, because you would have to like somehow replicate the game state here, which you could somehow manage, right? If you know the time limit as the pause started, and you are what it was largely even over to the point where probably like what's her name wouldn't have acted on it. You could have just set up one team on mid, one team on second, just put the timer properly. But that takes a lot of effort as well to get through. So it's much easier to just hope it fixes itself, which is still a very reasonable approach to all of this.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, normally these things don't last too long. So, yeah, that's the plan. I'm kind of running out of things to talk about these two teams, really. I mean, they played Processed before, but I've got the logs open on my other screen, and it's just kind of, a big old roll from Superheroes. Like I said, it was a 4-1. So, definitely not the way it's playing out here, which is good to see. Definitely, Superheroes, I imagine, kind of relying on the fact that they won this map so convincingly in their last best of 3. But I think, what's our name? Expected it a little bit. So, doing some preparation of their own. I think I did see somewhere that I think Scandal's been posting that he did a demo review with Fane, who's a well-known Prem soldier. So, if he's done a review with Fane, then he can be so ready going into this game. Bunch of strats up his sleeve, knowing what him and his team needs to do to win. And I mean, they're doing it well so far. I think before the pause, there was about 10 minutes left, 9 or 10 minutes. So
yeah, just about.
So, I mean, they're in a good spot right now. Obviously, only in terms of the score, holding last. It's it's a different story there.
I mean, that's also a whole different discussion, right? Just like getting told how to do things is an entirely different things from understanding and being able to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Certainly has been going all right, but I mean, just one good realization on the other side could quickly change all of that. So we'll see.
Yeah, and it can definitely happen where, you kind of go into a game maybe not understanding something that happened in the demo review, and then a situation happens in the game and it clicks. And then all of a sudden you're doing something completely different to what the other team's been facing for the first 20 minutes of the game, and it can really flip everything on its head. So maybe they've even, they kind of realized something while doing that demo review, and they're just waiting for the time to bring it out, as we do have the unpause coming through. So let's see what is going on. Ubers are totally frozen for me, but it looks like Superheroes, they are trying to take advantage of this situation. Dead Star going in, dying as well. Sky falling as well. You've got both soldiers up in heaven, but with the rest of their team falling aside from Munch, they aren't going to be able to do a lot. Tal very low. They know Aston's up there, and they're going to lock him in before anything can be done. So, what's our name? They are going to look at going back out in the second, with Munch being the only one alive. Definitely good last defense there. I'm kind of shocked that Superheroes played that the way they did.
Well, it's going to be much in the... This is going to be much in the favor of what's her name, and it looks like the server issues are still not quite ready to be resolved here. We know what happened with the last push, which I guess is a relief for any what's her name fans watching this right now, because you will have a confirmation. Okay, it was just a unpause, I would imagine, to get someone back on the server or something. I assume we'll probably see in a minute here to just get someone like properly back in, and there's going to be like an awkward moment where there's just a short hiccup here in the SCV. We'll see any moment here. One way or another though, game's back on track now. What's her name? Got back out of last, got themselves a little bit more comfortable here, and get themselves set up for just keeping themselves together for a little bit longer here.
Yeah, it looks like here teams kind of were discussing the server. We're going to be seeing where the pause came out in a few seconds. It's going to be coming up soon. Apparently there was a lot of discussion about it before it actually happened, so just some stalemating and... Oh my. So what's happened here is that during the pause, Tau hit their killbind. And the way it works in a pause is that if you killbind in a pause, you just insta-die afterwards. It looks like... Okay. Yeah, okay, it looks like they're gonna play the sportsmanly game. It looks like, yeah, Jack's gonna walk in. I saw this happen in another grand final before. They're just gonna go in, feed Ubersaws, and then
I've seen this last week, actually.
Yeah, oh, right, no, it was me and you. It was...
Jack dies to the gun. Oh,
yeah,
no, they didn't realize.
No, but that's fine. Yeah, they get the, they do get the full Uber, so it is even. And yeah, we did see this last week in the high game, so. But Aston will die. We're pretty much back into normal here. Spy up on Scandalous, so I don't know if he's just checking for off classes. Although it's a little bit of an odd time to do it because I mean there's still a player spawning, so they can't be 100% certain because he wasn't checking when Aston actually spawned, and yeah, they are gonna. Yeah, they're not gonna know. Deadstar did go back, but it was really late because of how late Aston spawned, so they think they know there's not a sniper. Deadstar, he's going to have a little bit of an opportunity here to get something. He needs to get something big, though, and Bitler is the kill he wants. He will not get it. Bitler will surely know that the sniper's up at this point. So, yeah, they won't be able to fall to that, but doesn't matter. Deadstar, he's been on a bit of a tear tonight. And if he's made some space out door 5 for himself, it could be quite the situation. But he's not getting an awful lot in his favour. Nice timed arrow from Munch to keep him alive. And the heavy will get very low as he will back up and get some heals. So, lobby stalemate, going to be making room for the sniper, just normal process stuff. We're going to see if superheroes can manage to even it out. 6 minutes left. Jack will die along with Deadstar. Not what they want to be happening there, as this might be what's our name's opportunity to push back out into second.
Yeah, and they managed one time before out of a defense, a good defense to get out of here. Demo sniper picks are really nice once they are taking their time. Those bombs are coming up. Want to act faster than this, and they still have the gun up as well, so they're very hesitant about it, but still looking for at least some opportunity to get through with Suzu on the beam. It's not working, they're not finding anything. Suzu gets caught. Uber gets used with that though. They're trying to catch them on superheroes, and they're not really catching anything at all in the end. They just thought they're closer than they were.
Yeah, I'm not too sure why that Uber came out. Munch didn't get low himself at all. I mean, Aston got a little low in door 2, but I mean, I'm not using on a soldier in door 2. That's a bit of a waste in my eyes, at least. So they're at full Uber disadvantage, and surely if you're what's our name, you got to be looking at pushing out here. Like this is a situation not even to win the round. Just take second. It's easier to hold second than it is to hold last, in my eyes at least. Because if you want to back out of a fight on second, if the fight's not going your way, you have somewhere to back out. But you've got Dit and Deadstar trying to make the back cap happen. They are going to get caught in lobby and need a good bit of damage from Raylan, but as you mentioned before, there's still that gun up on last. And Jack tries to get the force onto Tal, but will not manage. That's 3 down. 4 superheroes. What's our name? We'll be able to get mid here. With only scouts up, no real easy force attempt going through, and Deadstar will lose his life, so that's got to be it, unless they try to take the trade on point, which Munch will use the Uber first, going to lead it in. Tal will get the better Uber off, and Munch getting body blocked a bit, but he is safe enough in choke. Aston taking a flash at the end to bomb in. Will get nothing of it, though, as yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a crumble. Sky staying in a little bit too long as well. They may just look at leaving 1 scout on the point and bombing straight through, and that's what they're going to do. Dip coming in high. We'll get 2 rockets on the Tal. Not enough time to reload for a third, but Bitler being left alone against Deadstar will lose his life, but with 3 still being down for the side of superheroes. What's our name? They're going to be able to take second here fairly convincingly, and this is a really good spot to be with 4 minutes left in the game. Deadstar dying as well so late.
It's a trade at least with Scandalous in return as well, so it's something for superheroes. Maybe they want to take it. Yes, they will immediately try to just go in, make sure no one's backcapping. Doesn't seem like anyone's on the case build of extending. So the bomb comes through, kills Jack. Raylan still has some health left to go, but not much more time than that. to try to get Munch who will live in the end of all of this. So just a few people overextending in the end, trying to go deeper than they could afford to, and what's her name? Able to get superheroes out of blast very quickly, and with the time they have left, they very desperately need those opportunities. Jack going down late, hurts quite a bit, still taking the chances into mid though.
Yeah, definitely Deadstar coming in, does eat a meat shot from Susu, but is going to wrap around. Actually combines with Aston for the kill onto Susu. Deadstar will die to Bill, but the Uber does come out from both teams. Just ending, they're just happy with the trade that happened beforehand. Scout for Scout. It's going to settle out at choke here, but Aston coming back into mid. I'm not too sure what he was doing there. He just got the pack and tried to leave, but Soldier for Soldier Scandal will die. That was in IT. As Bitler gets a little bit of damage onto Sky in choke, Jack will try to retaliate, but it's okay. We are still all playing normal TF2, no funky. Oh wait, no. Scandal. He's not opening the door yet. Oh, he's on heavy. I love it. I love it. His team's up. You can get on the height on heavy really easily, but will he get into the fight on time? Susu, Bill, both falling. Scandal's only just in choke. He'll be able to protect his medic, so I suppose there's that, but everyone else on the team died. And Tao, you can't wait around for the heavy, so Scandal, he's going to sacrifice himself. But Aston, he's gotten into a good spot. Scandal, if Aston was fast enough, which I don't think he could have been. I don't think any soldier was getting to Tao in the position that they were in, so good timing to leave by Tal there, leaving the heavy behind, as it will be even Ubers with superheroes again on the initiative going in. Aston will die before the Uber gets popped, but the Ubers will get traded. Level 1 gun up. Aston still being the only kill to fall so far, but Scandal landing on Jack. Good damage with Susu taking the post-Uber. And oh my god, Raylan, massive bomb in, knocking Munch right into Susu after killing Jack. And with Med Demo and now a soldier spawning for superheroes, although Deadstar, he's gone for the last point, will get pushed back by Bill and sandwiched by the Bow Scout. As Sky falls as well, bit of a scrappy fight here, Dip on the last point. They just need to make sure they keep Tal alive, and they can do so. Munch meeting up with Jack as we are going through Scandal. He's jumping aggressively, making sure he can get the information for his team. They know where everyone is. And I say everyone, all 2 players on the side of superheroes. It's still possible for What's Our Name to win a round. Or
it
to
very
at
much
least...
is, on both sides for that matter. Superheroes fall short just on the matter of... I mean, obviously they played it with messy into lobby, but after that they had the time to get sacks, but they all did it individually, not together. Now they're doing it together into second here, trying to just bomb through deep. Jack going down early, hurts quite a bit, lots of damage by Ryland once again. The rest of the team needs to clean up quickly though, struggling a little bit, keeping themselves even just enough, and it might just do the job. Susu gets one more, they will have to use through, but with no one there on Munch's beam, they will not get anything going as well, including himself falling eventually and getting chased all the way by Bill, and that pretty much should just be curtains, I think.
Yeah, it should be 30 seconds. Once mid gets capped, it's going to be very difficult for superheroes to come back into it, and it looks like 2-1 is going to be our final score. No way that anyone can cap it at this point. That is going to be What's Our Name being your ozfortress Season 28 Intermediate Champions. Coming from behind, losing the first map, almost out of it in the golden cap from Loggen. They will turn it around in regulation on process and take it 2-1. What a series.
Yeah, what a game, what a series. 2 incredibly interesting games back to back here. And I mean, you mentioned it halfway through. What's Her Name started to look like a little bit more confident after the first bit here, and they were able to keep this going the whole way through. The 1 round lead was enough in the end, even if just barely, with some scary moments here and there towards the end, but they managed to pull through, and I mean, that's a deserved win right there.
Yeah, definitely. And those players, like, there's just the players on the side of What's Our Name just really stepping up. You know, like we were saying before that, you know, like Deadstar and Jack were just playing really well in the first 2 maps. You know, like Deadstar top fragging, Jack top damaging for both of those maps. But this time, it was again a very low scoring game because of the stalemates. But it's this time it's all What's Our Name. 28 and 27 kills for Bill and Susu respectively. Those scouts cleaning up and playing the better game. And then Susu, Bitler, and Scandal all doing more damage than Jack on this map. they just had much more control over the combo of superheroes, and Susu and Bill, they just played so well.
Yeah, I mentioned they were like a little bit inconsistent here. They had the good moments, but they just actually were able to perform well the whole map through here, and that went such a distance because last map it looked all like Sky and Death Star, but this map they just made a show for it themselves here, and that made a huge difference.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going through it. You know, I mean, the one other thing we haven't really touched on. You know, we've spoken about the soldiers, the demos, the scouts. You know, those things. You know, there were big difference makers in the game, but on these past two maps, Tal and Munch, they've been so close with each other, just especially in terms of the deaths, right? Like, I mean, on this map, Tal dying 8 times, Munch dying 7 times. Map before, we didn't bring it up, it was 6 deaths apiece, so just, I mean, these two men, they were so close to each other, and the thing that's really impressive to me about that is the fact that Munch is actually a really experienced player. Over the past few years, he's played in a few Prem teams and a lot of high intermediate teams, which intermediate used to be the equivalent of high, being the division underneath Prem. Because of how many signups we had this season, we made high and inserted it between Inter and Prem, but he's been in a lot of like old Inter teams that were in the Grand Finals and sometimes winning. So the fact that Tal has managed to keep up with Munch is a really good effort. Like, I was looking at it before this game, and I was thinking, you know, like, oh, all these other matchups are really good, but Munch could just put Tal away and could be the main difference in this game, but no, Tal played really well. And a big shout out to him. Like, that was a really good game on Medic for Tal. Like, to just perform with Munch, who I would say, if I was looking at the teams at the start of the season, I would have put Munch pretty comfortably as the best Medic here, but Tal giving him a run for his money.
Yeah, great performances all around, I would say, just by everyone involved here. So, in the end, a deserved win, and I think there's still more games to go as well today, right?
Yeah, we do. On TF Live TV 2, we do have the main grand final going right now. So we are going to look at wrapping things up here, so everyone can go and take a look at that game, because I believe they still have a little bit to go, so I guess we'll look at calling it here.
Yeah, just quick shout out and plug for myself, I guess, because tonight as well in EU time, which is to say in about 6 to 7 hours, which might not be good for Australians, but either way, there will be the vast majority of quarterfinals in ETF12 being played tonight, including a mid-game that I'm going to be watching on probably Essentials TF. If you aren't following them already, follow them, I guess, right now to stay tuned. That will be a mid-game Mayo goal against Unknown Quantities. Was a match last week. It was a tie. Both teams made playoffs and have to play immediately again. So will be interesting there. And that's the game I'm looking forward to, and hopefully see anyone there.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, in terms of look, shout out to you, DuMmTm, for joining me yet again. Another playoffs cast under wraps. As we don't have many left. Like I said, there's the main game going on right now, and after tonight, the last ozfortress Season 28 game to be played will be the Prem Grand Finals. And if I'm correct, I've heard this a few times, it's Monday at 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, so keep an eye out for that. Happy Feet versus Headcavers. It's going to be a banger of a game, as it's the third time those teams have played against each other. Massive shout out to Wiethoofd on production. Shout out to both teams as well for a really entertaining game tonight. And shout out to everyone watching and everyone who played this season. It's been a really great season, Season 28. Most amount of teams that have signed up in ozfort history. So we have all these great divs and close matchups to watch. No more blowouts. So I keep those sign-ups going into Season 29. And so that's going to do us for tonight. We're going to pass it over to TF Live TV 2. So, yeah, keep around, stick around for that main game.